Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this Big BUCS Wednesday here from the University of Nottingham's David Ross Sports Village. I'm Matt Walker, along with my ever-present host, Carl Walkinshaw. Good evening, Carl.
Great to be with you, Matt, for the final. We've just had the Div 1, which was a good game, and we're really looking forward to this one. The tension is mounting. It's electric, Matt.
Well, what a great atmosphere here. It almost appears from where we're looking like we're watching the longest yard from behind the prisoner's view between the fence here and the field. But the spectators are all lined up ready. We've been down pitch side before the game. We've chatted to various players and coaches from both teams. And both these teams are just ready to go, Carl, for what is the first time that American football has been featured in this Big BUCS Wednesday.
Yeah, it's University of Nottingham Gold, who are kings of the north, against the UWE Bullets, who are princes of the south. And it's going to be a really interesting matchup because you're going to see some of the very, very best athletes in the country on this field this evening. People from all over Europe and all over the world, Americans, Italians, Germans, Swedish, all sorts of different nationalities that play for these two different units, including our very own homegrown talent. So it should be a fascinating competition.
So you mentioned earlier, Carl, that we saw the Div 1 final where the SGS Pride were victorious by a score of 21-2 over the Newcastle Raiders, and that effectively was both those teams' first foray into the Premiership football ranks of the University of the BUCS University system. What can they expect a step up next year to look like, Carl?
Well, we've just been down, I think it was 21-8 actually to Newcastle.
You're quite
scored
right.
That last-minute touchdown.
Apologies.
Which we want to give them credit where credit's due. But yeah, I've just been down on the field and looking at the size of these. But I tell you what, these two teams look very, very good. I mean, I was watching the QB's arms into those receivers' hands, the size of their running backs, the size of their defensive line. They are a bunch of athletes on this field. I'm really excited about this one. And of course, it's on UON's home turf. We're at the David Ross Stadium, David Ross Sports Complex, rather, here in Nottingham. So there is a lot of Nottingham support. But I think UWE will be here to try and upset these home fans if they get a chance.
Well, in what has been a long time coming, we've waited for a BUCS final in American football since 2019 with the pandemic and everything else that has been thrown at us as challenges over the last couple of years. And indeed, many are suggesting that this final could be one of the very best. Out of 16 games between these two outfits here on show tonight, there has only been one loss. So, kickoff is fast approaching, and we were lucky enough to catch up with both head coaches before tonight's game.
I'm here with head coach of University of Nottingham Gold, Jason Scott. Congratulations, Jason, on getting to the championship final. How's it feel being here?
Thanks, God. No, it's always the goal at the start of the season, to be there on the last day of the season with a chance to win it all. And we work really hard, and I think it's just reward for the guys on the green and the gold, and all the coaching staff and all spectators and supporters for putting the hard work in. So I'm looking forward to enjoying it today, and I'll enjoy it more, I think, at the end of the game when we can look back and reflect. But yeah, I'm hugely excited to be here.
Now, you've had a great season, just that one loss, but other than that, you've been dominant in some matches as well, especially during the playoffs. What's the secret of getting here?
You know, we need to we train hard, we play hard, and you know, all the situations that we put in practice, we try to replicate in games and vice versa. I think that our mantra of next one wins, so only taking a play at a time and focusing on the next opponent, has really stood us in good stead and has kept us grounded throughout the season through whatever's the season's thrown at us.
Now, you've got the UWE Bullets today, and they've been dominant in their division in the south. We know the north is tough, but what challenges do UWE offer this team today for you to get through?
Well, look, they're here on the last day of the season, so they're a talented team, they're well coached, they've got a bunch of good players, but you know what? We're a good team, we're well coached, we've got a bunch of good players. We just need to execute our game plan.
And is there anything in particular that you've got up your sleeve that you want to share with us?
Carl, I think you know me well enough by now that I don't give away any secrets, but you know, we've trained really hard, and you know, we've repped everything we want to run, so you may say something, you may not.
Who do we need to look out for on UON then? Who should we have our eyes on in the commentary booth?
I mean, a lot of our guys are really talented, you know, likes of Jack Brennan, who went to the CFL Combine a few weeks ago, and Lewis Thomas on the offensive line. Both those guys worked hard, they're great leaders, and they're the rare thing, they're a big man who's very athletic as well. So really excited to see how those guys do, and obviously Josh Greaves, our quarterback.
Now, just tell us a little bit about this season's dedicated to one of our joint friends, actually, Stephen Brittle. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it was after the Durham game. Sadly, Coach Brill passed away in the early hours following that game, and to have the call from Dan, his wife, on the Monday morning was tough, and it was tough for us all to handle. To not just the University of Nottingham, but also the city of Nottingham and the American football community. He was a giant. He was well loved and respected by all, and he's sorely missed. And not a day goes by or a practice goes by as we wish he was here with us. So he will be with us in many ways, and I know Diane's on the sideline with us tonight. So we're just going to try and do him proud and do ourselves proud.
Absolutely, he is missed, so special dedication for him. Coach Scott, thanks so much for talking to us pre-game. We really appreciate it, and very much good luck for the game.
Thanks, Carl. All the best.
I'm here with offensive line coach, special teams coordinator. He's been involved with the UWE Bullets for 12 years, and it's his last ever game. Anthony Fersman, thanks very much for joining us on the interview.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
What does it feel like being here then, Coach?
It's something we've talked about. I joined the team, as you said, 12 years ago. We dreamed of playing in the biggest game for our sport, and we finally made it. It's a testament to the coaching and the players we've got. It's amazing.
Now, this team, we've heard a lot about them, obviously UWE Bullets, full of talent, but it's not, there are Americans on the team, but there's a range of talent from different places, isn't there? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so we've got guys from all around the world. We've got guys from Europe, we've got guys from America, we've got guys from the UK, and that's what really makes this team special, right? We've got players who've been playing the sport for 10, 15 years, have come to UE because they want to experience the best coaching, experience the best facilities, and that's why they're here. So yeah, as I said, it's not just our American players, it's our UK guys, it's our European guys, it's the whole talent we've got.
And what does it take to go through the season that you've done? Because no one's really come close, have they, of even touching you? What does it take to be a programme of that kind of power?
I think it takes patience, if anything. It's really, staying focused, it's focusing on what we're good at, it's, getting all of our good reps in training, and it's staying true to who we kind of are. As you said, we've kind of had challenges, but we've kind of not experienced a team as good as Nottingham to this date, so it's going to be exciting to see what happens today.
Who are the players, and I know you have talent all at different positions, but who are the players in the commentary booth we really should be watching, and people at home?
Hey, all 6 offensive linemen, they're always the stars of this show. Ezzy, Sam,
Absolutely.
Lenny, Briss, Jake.
All right, after
Ethan.
the offensive lineman, who should we be watching?
So number 7, Brian Peavy, he plays corner and kick return. He's really good. Ivan and Theo, our 2 quarterbacks. Drew and Sam, running backs. Yeah, loads of guys all over the board. Okay. I'm a bit biased as the offensive coach.
Sure. In terms of the University of Nottingham Gold, North champions, what challenges do they bring to a team like UWE? How are you going to come out of this game with a win?
I think we just need to keep doing what we've been doing. We've been playing amazing football all season. I think the challenge that we've got with these guys is they've got a really good quarterback, they've got really good receivers, they're a really solid team, they're well coached, and we're at home as well. We've got a lot of fans here who are keen to see Nottingham pick up a W today. So yeah, that's going to be our biggest challenge: just staying patient, sticking with our game, and not playing to the occasion, just playing our own pace. Excellent.
Well, congratulations for being here. I wish you all the very best for the game. Thanks for joining us, Anthony Fersman.
Thank you.
So the University of Nottingham Gold have taken the field and are away to our right as we look, and on come the UWE Bullets. This one is really set up to be a cracker, Carl. Scholars left, right and centre on both teams from the States, and as you said, a very international feel to the game all around. I think it really makes a difference as well that it's a night game, Carl, under the lights.
Yeah, the atmosphere's electric here. David Ross is a great venue for this great 4G pitch. It looks spectacular under the lights. You can see the crowds there on the camera, and there's hundreds of people here that have turned up to see the spectacle because it's a home game for University of Nottingham as well. Of course, you've got all that home support, but also there's people from all over the north and the south that have come to watch this fantastic game, this much anticipated game. I think when we started the season back all those months ago, this was the game that people wanted to see, Bullets versus Gold under the lights in the final.
Well, they both played 8 games apiece, and there's just one loss to show for them, and that's from the University of Nottingham. The Bullets have gone undefeated through this campaign, and they've really put some teams to the sword, haven't they, Carl?
They have. If you look at some of the scores, they opened with a 52-zip win against the Birmingham Lions, then they took the Pirates 62-0, then they took the Titans 72-0. You get the idea. They have been absolutely destructive in terms of the score, and the only team to score against them was Leeds Beckett Carnegie in that final.
And as ever in a sporting fixture of this magnitude, we thank our officials who have made it from all reaches of the country to be here and make this one a possibility. So we thank everyone involved with BAFRA, the Referees Association in the UK, And in a sport like American football, it takes that many officials to keep an eye on everything that's going on. So we have the University of Nottingham on the near sideline to us. We're just there at the back of that stand. And here's our national anthem. And these festivities all add to the atmosphere. This one is about to kick off in the next few minutes. We will shortly have the coin toss to determine who receives the opening kickoff, and as is the case, which team will defer to the second half. Carl, you're a defensive coordinator from the Nottingham Trent University Renegades. From a team perspective, do you want to win that coin toss? Do you want the ball first? Do you want to defer it? Or does it depend on the actual given game?
It depends on the game. It's not always a clear-cut decision. I think if you're playing for field position and often getting the defence on the field first, if you feel like you're going to have an offence that will struggle against the defence, then you want to put your defence on first and get good field position so that that offence starts from a good position on the field. Field position and special teams so important in this game.
So, as is customary in American football, our official in the white hat there, that's our lead referee. He will be mic'd up and he will be able to be bringing us all the details from the games, any flags that are thrown, any decisions that are made by the officiating crew. They will come directly over the stream if you're new to American football, so you can try and get an idea about what's going on as we proceed. So the two captains, or the one captain from the University of Nottingham, one captain from the UWE Bullets, number 72. We will bring you now the coin toss. Ref mic not on at the moment, but obviously if you're new to the game, this is basically running both team captains through the general conditions and what the referee's looking for.
You could hear a pin drop here with the coin toss, I tell you.
That's because everyone's trying to hear what...
So anticipated.
Everyone's trying to listen to the referee from the stand without his mic on.
Okay, gentlemen.
But we will try and give you a signal. We will be able to let you know from the hand signals of the officials.
So we have the bat for coins, which will be the head.
Simon Stockwell.
The football
will
be the tail.
Okay,
please call it before I flip it. Okay, heads has been called. Heads has been called. It is a head. Okay, you want to defer. Okay. What side would you like to? Oh, I'm taking you on the ball. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Fair.
A little bit of confusion here, but we'll...
UWE has won the toss and have deferred their options in the second half. UW will receive in the first half. Correction. Nottingham won the toss and will defer to the second half. UWE will receive.
So I can clarify from that, even though the referees are tad confused at the moment, the UON won the toss and they chose to defer to the second half, which means the UWE Bullets will be returning the opening kickoff and they will start on offense. Well, Carl, I hope the rest of the game goes a little bit smoother than the coin toss and the players know what they're doing.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure the coin toss is supposed to be that difficult, but we'll see how this game progresses. At least we got to a point where UWE are going to receive this ball, so at least the UWE player knew what he wanted to do.
So, with UWE taking the ball, players will be shortly on the field, and there's a plethora of people to look out for. If you're new to the game, we'll try and talk you through, Carl and I, how the game works and what this 1st and 10, 2nd and 5, 3rd and 2 and etc means. The difference between offense, defense and special teams. Why are there 11 players that go on for offense and then we change for another 11 players on defense and then maybe another 11 players on special teams? Because we're very conscious that this is the very first time American football has been included in this BUCS Big Wednesday. So there may well be fans out there of both these universities who don't know a great deal about American football, and Mr. Walkinshaw and I will do our very best to keep you up to speed with what's going on the field. Just a little footnote, there are lots of different colour lines on the Astro today, and it's the red lines that we're playing to. It's a 90-yard pitch, 45 yards each half, with a 10-yard end zone indicated by the orange pylons on each corner that you will see as the game progresses. As you can see then lining up, the UON Gold will be playing from right to left as you look.
We're going to get a chance to see that UON offense coming right out onto the field with their starting quarterback, so this is going to be exciting, and see what that defense can do to hold them in check as we get ready for this kickoff, Matt. We're very nearly here, sir.
Here we go, Rivera and Peavy back to return for the Bullets. Kicking off for the University of Nottingham. And the Big BUCS Wednesday Premiership Championship game is underway from the David Ross Sports Village. And that is Rivera, who is dragged down just outside his 20-yard line at about the 23, where the Bullets will start their opening possession.
Yeah, you saw the speed of Rivera there, didn't you, on the backfield? But UON streaming down the field and made a nice solid tackle to get them to start on their 20. So the anticipation is over. The nerves have to go. Now these two teams really have to step up and see what they can do in this final. They've been waiting for 2 weeks for this game. Let's see where the nerves hit first. Let's see who it impacts first. Let's see if they've got their mindset right as we start this game with the UWE Bullets on offense and their American quarterback coming out.
So here we go then, 1st and 10 for the Bullets, just outside their 20-yard line. The uninitiated, and there's a bit of confusion on the off. The uninitiated the game, you can move the ball forward by either handing the ball off and running, or the quarterback dropping back and passing. And those nerves you spoke about, Carl, seem to have already got the better of the team in black and red.
Delay a game by the offense.
Squad.
The 5-yard penalty remains first down.
Wow, it's an immediate delay of game from the UWE Bullets. Well, that's surprising. We're going to show you a replay of what a delay of game looks like, which is that nothing happens. So here come the UWE now on a 1st and 15.
I can assure you it gets more exciting than that as the quarterback hands the ball off to his halfback, who takes a nice seam over the right end of the line and picks up 3 or 4 yards on first down. And because of that delay of game, they will march back 5 yards initially, so it would have been 1st and 15, and that will bring up 2nd and 9, Carl.
Yeah, you get an opportunity to see the speed of these teams, and there is a distinct difference between the earlier Div 1 game and the size and speed of the athletes that you'll see on the field in this second game. And those SGS Pride and Nottingham and Raiders will be watching this team interested in Premiership football.
Nyoma Garbu, the quarterback, on a designed quarterback run there with his tight end and halfback blocking for him, but there's nowhere to go there. And I don't know whether he slipped, Carl, or whether he just thought better of running into the defensive front.
No, we saw some slips earlier on, and if you don't have the right footwear on this 4G field, then you will suffer from that. It was a safety caused by a slip earlier. Here it is, great camera work. There it is, as close as you can get it. And just loses his footing there on the edge as he tried to cut back inside.
Bullets already in trouble, 3rd and long on this opening possession. Younger drops back, he's looking to, now he takes off, he's got a space up the middle and he's got nice fast feet, he dances and he's scythed down just before the 30-yard line, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's an excellent tackle in a very difficult position. Number 32 having to come up to make that tackle and make that hit. And we'll get a name for you on 32 as soon as we can, but here's the replay. Sees the hole, jumps through it, and he's so dangerous in the open field is this guy. So 32 coming in to make that tackle and turn this into a 4th down. UWE back to punt.
So 3 and out for the Bullets on their first possession. You would think they would be kicking from this position this early in the game. Back deep to return is the UON kick returner, and the kick is up, and it's a line drive which takes a UWE bounce, and Nottingham Gold will take over on their own 23-yard line.
Well, the Gold have come ready to play, because the UWE Bullets are not used to punting, I'll tell you that much. In the games that they've dominated over the course of this season, they have not been put in a position where they have had to punt on an opening drive for a long time. So the Gold win the early momentum battle, and we'll see what they can now do on offense. Remember, this UWE defense, they're no slouches either. They have a stacked set of athletes ready to match up against these Nottingham athletes.
So here is quarterback Joshua Greaves, number 14, leading the Gold offense on this first series. Man in motion, bringing tricks to the right hand side, and Green dumps it off to his left. Greaves does, and his running back has space, and he picks up close to a first down on Nottingham's opening play of this game.
Yeah, Faith Cody, the running back for Nottingham, I was stood next to him on the sideline. He is a specimen, I'll tell you. There doesn't look like to be an ounce of fat on him at all. I mean, he looks cut from stone, and he makes his early announcement on the game with a great run.
Carl, talk to me about the purpose of motion before the snap.
Well, you want to keep the defence off balance as much as possible, so if you're catching their eye, they might have to make an adjustment, and it creates gaps that you can exploit in different areas of the field.
And 81 comes in motion, settles, so we've got twins on the right hand side this time, and the ball is passed, and it's a great catch, makes the first man miss, and he's out past midfield. That's number 88, Kelvin Alotti.
Now that's some of the plays that I was seeing Josh Greaves throw. He has a hell of an arm, it's a quick arm, and practicing those slant patterns as we see here, where the receiver runs 3 yards and then Josh Greaves just bullets that in there, and there was a defender closing on the ball but couldn't get there quick enough.
So first down inside the Bullets half already on this opening possession. Spread offense again, no halfback for Greaves, and Greaves looks to his left, then fires it, and the receiver makes the catch at the 40 and then runs backwards to the original line of scrimmage. Sorry, Carl, maybe picks up a yard, but no more.
That's a great piece of defending from Abassi as well, from number 8, who's come up to make that tackle. Closes very quickly on the running back, no gain.
Interesting, when you've got 5 receivers out there, you're kind of selling your hand to the defence that you know that's going to be through the air, and then you've got to rely on whether or not those defenders can keep nice and tight in coverage. Once again, 2 receivers to the left, 3 to the right. Spread formation for Greaves. Defenders playing off, and here comes that man in motion again, fakes the jet sweep, and Greaves dumps it over on a little receiver screen, and he's got some space. He makes the first man miss, and then he's upended, but not until he picks up another Nottingham first down.
Wow, these two teams have come to play, haven't they? I love the scripts in this first series. What do you do to take advantage of a defence that's very aggressive, that's very fast? You run a screen, and here we have it. The running back just drops into that little place just in front of the quarterback and gets the dump-off pass, and there's the pick-up and dump, thank you very much. Both these teams have come to play. Gabriel Rivera on the tackle there.
You said about scripting, Carl. Obviously in the NFL, coaches do script the first 15 plays to try and work out the defence. Does that happen in this country at this level?
I guarantee it's happening in this game.
So here we go then, first down Nottingham. Just inside the 30-yard line of the Bullets. Greaves has a running back behind him this time, and he turns and he hands that on a little counter play, but that's met in the backfield. And number 33 for Nottingham, Faith Cody, goes nowhere. In fact, loses 3-4 yards on the play, and great penetration by that Bullets defence.
Darian Simmons says, hello, welcome to the UWE Bullets. That's the sort of plays they've been making all season long. Good penetration and dumped in the backfield, and that just quiets this crowd.
Talking to a couple of players on both sides before the game, and it was very much a feeling of whichever team flinches first, they're the ones that might be in trouble. And at the moment on this evidence call, neither team is giving up a step, neither team flinching. 3 receivers to the left this time for Nottingham on second down, 2nd and 13. Ball handed off once again on another little counter play, and Cody picks up the yardage he lost on first down, and then gains a couple more out to around about the Bullets 29, in fact, where the officials standing make that the 30. It's 3rd down and 10.
Gavin Jordan there, you can see on the screen, number 15 coming in to make another good tackle. They're so quick, these defenders, and that initial momentum, you can just feel the air coming out a little bit as we go into this 3rd and long situation. That initial momentum of Nottingham now, those 2 plays in the backfield have shut that down a bit. Let's see what Nottingham can do on 3rd and long.
Big play coming up here on 3rd and 10. That spread formation still there. Got all 3 receivers in tricks to the wide side of the field, 1 receiver on the narrow side, and it looks like that's going to be a false start. And I think Cody went a little bit early there, number 33 in the backfield, Carl, and that's going to make Nottingham's job even more difficult on 3rd down.
Yeah, Josh Greaves was looking to his left there, but didn't get a chance to get that ball off. Let's hear from the ref.
Fire the step. False start on the offense, number 13. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, remains third down.
So it was Finley Old, number 13, called for the infringement, not to Cody, as I originally guessed, looking in the backfield. So now, from 3rd and 10 is 3rd and 15. Twins both sides for Greaves. Greaves looks to his left, throws to his left off the back foot, and he's got a man, but it's going to be shy of the first down by a considerable distance. He's going to be about 4 or 5 yards short, and now a big decision for Nottingham, Cole.
Yeah, they're in that part of the field, wouldn't they, where they can go for it without too much damage being caused. Certainly there's not worth punting. So it's 4th down and 4 on this down. Josh Greaves under pressure there to get the ball away. That defensive line coming through those gaps every single time does manage to get the ball away.
Yeah,
and puts themselves in a position where they can go for this on 4th and 5.
Although they're not, the field goal unit are out, so obviously Coach Scott is thinking it's important to get early points on the board, and from our vantage point it is a 4th and 6 rather than a 4th and 4. It's just obscured, and the kick is up. It looks good from our vantage point. Wait for the official signals. No good. Wide left is the decision. So it remains 0-0 in this Big BUCS Wednesday Premiership Championship game.
So it was an interesting drive, wasn't it? It's fascinating to watch this cat and mouse game, because UON had that initial momentum on those first few plays, and then some big hits coming in from the defense, which is shutting down that momentum, and then UON missing that field goal. I think momentum is going to play a huge part in this one, as both of these teams vie to keep that energy up so that they can keep the pressure on their opposition.
So first down again for the Bullets on their second position. Ball is handed off, and there's a nice little seam just off the right guard there for the running back for the Bullets. A little bit hard for us in this light to be able to pick out the red numbers on the black jerseys, but that is number 21 who takes the carry, Drew Carson, on first down, and he's going to pick up enough to move the chains.
They hit the hole so quickly to UWE, right up the middle, right up the gut, right in your face. And that was a great way to start this drive for UWE after that first poorly executed drive.
Looks like the same play again with a very similar result, and he stays strong, stays on his feet, picks up 9 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 1, and it's that same man again, Carson, hitting that hole at pace.
And it's the yards after contact, isn't it, for Carson, that you're impressed with. Hits the hole hard, and then hit once, stays on his feet, hit twice, stays on his feet, keeps those feet moving. Another 5 yards. Here come UWE at halfway yard line.
After one possession each, you may have given the advantage to Nottingham the way they moved the football when the Bullets went 3 and out, but now that momentum that you mentioned, Carl, is definitely swinging back the way of the men in black.
Well, what do you stop? You've got the running back, number 21, ripping holes in the heart of your defense, and then the offensive quarterback just waiting to make a play himself. Very difficult to know who to key on if you are a defender of the UON.
Nyamagabu, the Bullets quarterback, definitely looks like a dual threat player as he hands that ball off again. New runner this time, met initially in the backfield, but then he manages to bounce it out to the left. He's got a seam, makes one man miss, steps out of bounds for another UWE first down. That's Sam Jenkins on the carry this time.
Yeah, so disheartening if you're a defender and you have that running back bottled up. It'd be great to see a replay on that one just to see how quick those feet are, because if you get a running back that can stop dead, here it comes here. So watch as he gets a line of scrimmage, he sees it, reverses, and then he's got the speed and the vision to get to his left hand side and up the sideline, and that's the sort of thing that takes the wind out of a sail of a defense.
Yamagabu then under centre with 2 receivers to the right, and this time play action, and he's looking, and now he's trying to move his feet, scrambling to his right. There's a flag on the play, puts the ball up in and out of the hands of Sam Jenkins, but where that flag has dropped, you've got to think that's a hold against the Bullets.
Just got a little glimpse of the athleticism of this quarterback as well. Garbo, who is a tremendous athlete, seen him on tape in previous games.
Holding on the offense, number 57. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot, replay first down.
Fancy playing our game again, Carl. 1-0 to me. Those of you who have not listened to Carl and I before, we've been doing this for a fair while now. We have a little competition to see who can get most flag calls right in a game.
No, you have a little competition,
well,
and then you ask me to play.
Well, generally because you always lose, so you don't like being involved in the competition because you don't like to be on the losing end all the time. Sore loser. Anyway, here we go again after the hold. Quarterback drops back, puts a ball down the sideline. He's got a man just out of reach, maybe 2 or 3 yards out of the reach of the intended receiver, who was Jax Crawford. And that ball from Niyomagarbu, check out the flick of the wrist.
What
ball.
a beautiful thing to watch. Watch this if you've not seen American football before. Look at the spin of that ball through the air. I mean, just out of his arms, he would have wanted to complete that, but they will stretch this defense as much as they can, which means they'll get vertical in this defense. They'll run men down the field and see whether those UON defensive backs are equal to the speed and pace. And when you've got a quarterback with a great arm like that, can throw 40, 50 yards, you have that threat.
And here he goes again. He faked that pass, but he had no intention of passing. He tiptoes his way through into the secondary of the University of Nottingham and picks up the penalty yardage lost and then some. It will bring up 3rd down, but it'll be 3rd and short. Interesting on that 1st and 20 call, they elected to go long, but it's looking like there's going to be another flag on the play.
Illegal formation, 5 players in the backfield
are saving you
by the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 2nd down.
So basically you have to have 7 players on the offensive line. You can only have 4 players off the offensive line. You have to have 7 actually level with the ball at the start of play.
At 25, a big 3rd down for the Bullets. 3rd and enormous. Special teams for the Bullets. Big defensive stop for the University of Nottingham.
Are they? They're notorious for going for it on 4th down, but 4th and 25.
You wonder, don't you, as a man steps off the line, oh, that didn't look like that man was set, to be fair, but there's no flags, and the ballers again up into the night sky. It takes a UWE bounce, but then it looks like, yeah, it is. It's not a touchback, so right into the coffin corner call. The coffin corner call, and the Nottingham Gold team will find themselves in a hole at about their own 3 or 4 yard line.
Yeah, now this is going to be hard for them to get out of this, because on the 3 yard line, that's a tricky situation for any offense to be in under the shadow of their own goalposts. So especially when you have a swarming defense that's able to make tackles behind the line of scrimmage. So we'll see what occurs here.
So it is 1st and 10 inside their own 5 yard line for the gold jerseys of the University of Nottingham. If you're just joining us, welcome to this Big BUCS Wednesday prelude. On a Tuesday, it's the National Championship game in the Premiership, and it's a big hole opens up for the Nottingham running back, and he's still on his feet. Swarm taking 3, 4 black jerseys to bring him down.
That's exactly what you need, a quick hitting run from running back Odawale, who busts his way up the middle to create that space, and therefore you can breathe a sigh of relief on the offense, and it opens up your playbook because you're not under that pressure backed up on your own goal line. 1st down UON.
We made the analogy in the first trophy game about a boxing match, and this feels like a boxing match. It feels like one team punching, getting the other team on the ropes, and then the other team managing to get a breather and breathe life into their own campaign. As on 1st and 10 after that first run, the ball once again is taken to the left-hand side of the line, but there's nothing doing there. And the relentless chase of that defensive front for the Bullets puts pay to that first down run.
Well, that was 49-45 coming in. Let's look at this on the replay. You can see the penetration immediately. Running back, no chance, and bam! 23 and 45 combine and keep those legs pumping to drive that running back back. So you've seen hard-hitting, quick-hitting plays from the offense, but the defense can run those as well. Great play by number 23, who is Darian Simmons, to slow that runner down before help came.
So that was a loss of a yard, brings up 2nd and 11. As man in motion once again is Adewale. Greaves drops back to pass this time. He's got a man on a post pattern and he's got him. He's open. He's in space at the 40, the 30, down to the 25-yard line, and the ball comes loose. But it was ruled down by contact. The ground causing the fumble, and that's a huge play for the University of Nottingham. Kelvin Alotti with a beautiful reception. Looked like he took that in stride, Carl.
Yeah, amazing play. So go play action. Josh Greaves dropping back, and look at this. Look how beautiful that pass is. Gets his man in stride. And number 7 now in a foot race to the sideline, just managed to get him down, and he was down before that ball comes out. So UON shifting field position in an instant.
Brian Peavy with the tackle, eventually bringing Alotti down.
After the play was over,
So
unsportsmanlike
1st and 10.
conduct. Number 25 of the defense. Well, it says half the distance. Automatic first down.
So, as if it wasn't bad enough that big gain through the air went Nottingham's way, there is also an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty at the end, which will give Nottingham some extra yardage, taking them closer to the goal line of the Bullets.
I believe it was Joshua Reed on that reception who came on for UON, number 80, but we will check. We'll see if we can have a look at that replay again to get a proper number. It was number 7, Brian Peavy, had to make that saving tackle, as you say,
25 seconds remaining.
So
in the quarter.
timeout
25.
Nottingham. Here we go. Here's that replay again, Cole.
So yeah, it was just a fantastic throw, and when you've got two great quarterbacks like this who can put the ball up 40 yards through the air, it's just fantastic to be able to see. And it was number 80 who was Jatari Reed coming on to make that reception, and another receiver would have gone all the way, but of course
Correction, there's 55
Brian
seconds
Peavy's got that
remaining,
speed to be able to stay with him and drag him down.
So it is 1st and goal, Nottingham, inside the 10-yard line. Once again, those viewers new to the sport, the aim of the game is to gain 10 yards at a time. So 1st and 10 is your first attempt to gain 10 yards. If you pick up 3 yards on 1st and 10, it then becomes 2nd and 7, your second attempt to collect the 7 yards from that original 10. When you get inside the 10-yard line, there are less than 10 yards, so it becomes 1st and goal. You have 4 chances to punch the ball into the end zone from inside the 10, and that's what Joshua Greaves and this Nottingham offense are looking to do now. He goes to the air, pumps once, puts the ball up into the corner, and it's just behind the intended receiver. In fact, the intended receiver claiming some defensive infringements, but it doesn't waiver the official.
Yeah, again, Joshua Greaves testing those defensive backs. Both of these teams explosive and able to score from anywhere on the field. But they're clearly on that one, just trying to throw the back of the end zone in the corners, and that's the safest throw to make. When you're close to the end zone like you are here, you have a lot of defenders around the goalposts, and you want to throw to those corners and put your receivers in a position to make those catches.
Greaves again looks to his right, and then he bounces out, then he puts the ball up, and that's in and out of the hands of...
There's a flag on that one, Matt, as well.
Yeah, Ryan Taylor. That could be for, once again, unsportsmanlike conduct, because Ryan Taylor, ball was in and out of his hands, and then the defender laid the boom on him, even though it was quite obvious that he hadn't made that reception. Let's listen to our official.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, late hit, number 6. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
I think, Carl, you'll find that unnecessary roughness call was my second correct call of the evening. Matt Walker 2, Carl Walkinshaw 0. But anyway, we digress. I'm not going to let Carl respond to that because it's now, once again.
Matt, you didn't even know there was a flag. Top of the screen as Josh Greaves is calling some signals out there to see what he wants.
And Greaves looks to his left, comes across the middle, and it's intercepted in the end zone. What a travesty, and another flag on the play. But Joshua Greaves sidearms that one, didn't see the linebacker.
And that's why you don't throw the ball across the middle of the field that close to the end zone, especially when you have a linebacker like Abassi.
So, all that good work undone, although let's have a look what the flag is. If the flag was after the interception, it will remain UEWE ball. If it was before the interception, it'll
Here's
come
the
back
replay.
Nottingham.
So look for they're trying to get the crossing
Pass
pass to number
interference.
13, but Abassi
Defense,
just stands
number
there,
8.
drops into the hole.
That'll be foul will be placed at the spot of the foul, automatic first down.
Carl, I think you called pass interference there, so I think that's 2-1 now. I'll give you that one. All right, I saw you. I read your mind.
I'm not. I don't see pass interference. I mean, I might be right in terms of winning the game, but I never saw a pass interference from number 8 on that play. But there you go.
Well, I read your mind just before the ball was intercepted, and you definitely had that PI sort of aura coming out of you. But anyway, what a break for the University of Nottingham.
Let's have another look at this here. So you're looking at number 8 in the middle of your picture, who's the dropping linebacker. There is no contact that I can see from number 8, so I don't know where that pass interference call came from.
The only thing it could have
On
been
that play,
is it could have been deemed
the quarter
as the receiver
ended.
went by him,
As we had a
little tug on his
penalty,
jersey,
there will be one untimed
but
down.
nothing there. And there we have the end of a breathless first quarter. Apologies, Mr. Official, for talking over the top of you, but what a first quarter that has been. In fact, we've just been told that at the end of this play will be the end of the first quarter. Can Nottingham punch it in and take a 6-0 lead at the end of this fantastic period as the whistles blow before this play even gets started?
Yeah, I think that's going to be defensive encroachment. Let's have a look at the play here.
Waiting for our official.
Prior to the snap, offside.
This is the pass interference
Fraction
call,
number
and
55
again,
of the
can't see it.
defense. Half the distance to the goal remains first down.
So that's 2. Oh, you're not claiming the PI call then? Okay, that's 2-1
Not
then.
claiming the PI call.
Well, I was trying to help you out, but now you've leveled
You
it up.
see, you're dragging me into this game that I don't want to play.
It's been 2 years since we played this game, Carl. It's good for a Tuesday night on the 22nd of March in the spring Nottingham air. Actually,
Here's the encroachment. You'll just see UWE just...
and that's fair enough.
and that's what the penalty was for.
Here we go then, Greaves with another opportunity. Couldn't be much closer, and the ball is flipped to the right-hand side. He's looking for the corner, and looking for flags on the field. No flags. Touchdown, Nottingham. Adewale.
Adewale
Oh,
impressive,
hang on.
but there is a flag down,
Well, I'm going to hazard a guess here. When there's a flag on a play like that, 9 times out of 10, it's holding.
Great design again, you're using the aggression of the defense against them
Holding
on the reverse.
on the
Let's hear
offense,
from the
number
ref.
33. That'll be a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. We'll replay first down, and we still have an untimed down to play.
So they're dragging this first quarter out, and here it is. Let's see if we can spot the hold.
So watch number 31 here, who gets the ball on this reverse. You can see gets right to the corner, and the hold was nowhere near the play. UON will be disappointed with that.
So from first and goal on about the 1, they're now marched back to the 10. Last play of the first quarter, little bubble screen. Receiver makes the catch, but then falls down, and that is a Lottie this time. And just to track back, I am now 3-2 ahead on the flag calls. Not that I'm counting. But that will be the end of the first quarter, Cole.
Fascinating first quarter, 0-0, and I'm not sure you would have thought it would be 0-0 after the first quarter. Not with these two
That is
offenses,
the end of the first
both
quarter.
of whom scored over 5 touchdowns. I mean, UON came in off a 41 blowout of the Birmingham Lions. UWE with a similar scoreline. Let's look at some of the highlights here. This is the quick dancing feet of the
Sam
Jenkins running back, who was just spectacular on that run.
Well, I say, Carl, even though it's a 0-0 scoreline, I believe this is probably the deep ball to...
Yeah, this is going to be the pass to number 80, who is Jattery Reed.
And here
Watch
it
his
is.
skills over the middle here, trying to split those two safeties, which he does, and it's only the saving speed of Brian Peavy to bring him down.
And even though, Carl, it's 0-0 on the scoreboard, there have been no shortage of big plays.
No, it's been really entertaining, and it's been a very, very high quality game. This was the interception, just as UON were expecting to go into the end zone. And this was the PI call that wasn't a call. So we've seen a couple of dubious calls from the referees in this one so far.
We've had an interception in the end zone taken off the board. We've had a touchdown for the Gold of Nottingham taken off the board. It's second and goal. Second and goal. And again, it's a little stop-starty. I think there's still nerves out there, Cole. I don't think that's an official timeout, though, I believe. It doesn't look like things were set quite right as the officials have their discussions. Nottingham will kick themselves if they don't come away with something on this position, Cole.
Yeah, and I think as the game progresses, UWE's quality will begin to take hold. So, you know, Nottingham need to take advantage of the good field position that they get, Matt.
The crew were just making sure that the spot
is beautifully poised, though.
The spot is indeed
this game, compared to our first game, this game looks to be a much, much closer competition, which you would have expected from two teams of this calibre.
Well, the one thing that's caught my eye, Carl, as well as the size, it's the speed, isn't it? All over the field. Joshua Greaves surveys at the start of this play, looks out to his right, he's got pressure coming, and he has to get that ball away, and I think it may well have been tipped. And another flag.
Yeah, yet another flag from this refereeing crew.
I'll give you the opportunity to call this one, Carl, before I give my tuppence with it.
I'm not calling the flags, mainly because I don't know what they're going to be.
Illegal use of the hands to the face.
Nottingham
Number 53 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. We play second down.
I'm not claiming that one. There's no way we're going to see that from there. Illegal use of the hands to the face basically means that one of the Nottingham players has grabbed hold of a face mask, and generally speaking, it's one of those big offensive linemen trying to protect his quarterback. Hand slips up a little high.
It was a 10-yarder.
Grabs the face mask illegally. That's one area you are not permitted to put your hands. So, from first and goal, it's now second and goal, but it's second and 25. As the ball, Greaves looks over the middle, and that is intercepted this time in the end zone. And now there's a run back as well, and he's got a little bit of space as Peavy. And Peavy gets out close to the 20-yard line, and the University of Nottingham will be furious. And there's that momentum, Carl, swinging the other way.
We've had two interceptions now, both in the end zone from these UWE Bullets. Interesting, they're kind of playing this kind of bend, don't break defense, which is not what you normally expect. Here's the replay. Let's see what Josh Greaves sees. I mean, he knows he's got receivers that can get under the ball, and he knows he's got that strong arm. But if you watch the dropping Peavy, the safety, who drops right into the path of the football and looks like the receiver at the end of the day, nearly gets a face mask penalty. And also then he's got that speed and skill to return the ball. It becomes like a kick return or a punt return. Slips in the end, but UWE holding firm on their goal line.
Looked to me to be a miscommunication from receiver to quarterback, because where that ball was thrown, as we watched first down run from, was that ball popped out loose at the end? And Nottingham are all jumping on the sideline and in the middle of the field, claiming they've got it, as it was Drew Carson who took the carry. We'll wait and let the referee sort this one out. But Carl, on that interception, from the replay, it appeared that the receiver went inside to run a post, and Greaves threw the ball almost expecting to go back onto the corner, because he was nowhere near it, and it is pointed Nottingham ball. So two turnovers in the space of two plays, and Carson coughs the ball up for the Bullets.
Well, massive roar coming up from the crowd there when they heard that call. Obviously devastating to have the interception, two interceptions in the end zone, but now you've got the fumble recovery back for UON, and that's just great coaching, you know, to get your hands in and rip that ball out. Let's have a look at this run now, and you'll just see towards the end of this play, it's just hands going in and ripping the ball out. Difficult to see because there's so many bodies around, but you can guarantee UON will be putting hands in, getting those big old arms in there to try and rip this ball out.
And it's a difficult one because the official who was nearest to the play ended up on his back and didn't end up managing to necessarily see when that ball came out. So a real big break caught there by the Nottingham Gold defensive unit. On comes Greaves once again. Motion man to check out where that defensive coverage is lying, and Greaves drops back, looks left, still looking left, pressure coming, rolls to his left, flicks his wrist, and he in and out of the hands of that intended receiver, who is number 80. That is Jatori Reed.
Facina Touré doing a fantastic job. There were two defenders actually on that receiver. So Josh Greaves having to roll out due to the UWE pressure, which he does a great job at, but great defending there from Touré to deny any further yards. 2nd and 10.
And it's a real strange one, Carl, because it's 0-0. Nottingham have had the lion's share of the ball on offence, but they've not been able to punch it in. So does that give the Bullets a little bit of an advantage psychologically, knowing that they can hold this gold unit? So here we go. We've got now 2nd and 10, Nottingham. Greaves hands the ball off. He doesn't know he keeps it. That's a nice little option play. And then he gets clattered as he gets inside the 15-yard line down to the 14.
I'll tell you what, if you're going to run the ball, then you will get clobbered by this UWE, especially if you're a quarterback. And that's Abassi again coming in to make that play on Greaves. But yeah, it was a beautiful option run. They're using number 33 there, their star running back to Cody, as a bit of a decoy and getting Greaves. And this is the sort of thing that Jason Scott does with Tamworth a lot, with Elliott. So it'd be interesting to see whether that continues.
So Jason Scott, of course, head coach of this University of Nottingham gold outfit, also head coach of the Brickball Tamworth Phoenix, as his ball is swung out to the right-hand side. He's close. Is he in the end zone? No, he's down on the 1-yard line. 1-yard line is the call for number 23 for the gold.
It's 33. It's to Cody on that one. And he is, he was a guy I was saying he's an athlete on the field. You can see, give the ball to Cody in space. Look at that cutback. Beats 3 guys. There has to be a saving tackle from a defensive lineman, I think, having to come up to make that tackle.
Now, we've seen this movie somewhere before. 1st and goal, Nottingham from the 1-yard line. Mr. Cody is pulled down short. And great tackle from that UWE defender. Look at this heavy set in here now, Carl. And there's a timeout called, and that timeout is going to be called by UWE, I believe, to try and think this one over. So here we go then. So, Carl, I was about to say about the psychological impact. Who will be happier? Are Nottingham happy with the fact that they've been able to move the ball, or are UWE happy with the fact that they've bent, like you said, but not broken?
I think UWE have been punched in the face, is what I think, and I think they'll be shocked by how Nottingham have come out and played, because there was a lot of talent on this team and a lot of talk about how this wouldn't be close, especially from UWE Bullet supporters. And Nottingham have come out and they're not only competing, they're showing that they can dominate for periods of this game. So it's a fascinating encounter. I'm really glad we're here because it's electric and this could go any way. You've got so much talent both sides of the fields, and you can see both quarterbacks really on point. Those 2 interceptions by Josh Greaves have been made by great athletes in the end zone and know exactly what they're doing and where to be on the field. So it's that cat and mouse game. Great to be here.
And the actual interception that could have easily been dropped because there were 2 defenders in the area, and it's dead easy for both those defenders to either leave it to the other or both compete and knock it down. But here we go then. Look at that heavy set in there for the Nottingham outfit, and indeed a new quarterback in as well. Finley Old in at quarterback, number 13. And it's going to be a direct snap, and it is, and it's going to be close. No signal yet. Touchdown, Nottingham!
Such a clever little play, this one, to get in. They line up in shotgun, and then they give it to the outback, who sneaks over. We'll show you a replay in a second. But University of Nottingham Gold using all the tricks in the book they can to keep this UWE Bullets defence off balance.
That's the old Tom Brady quarterback sneak, like you said, starting shotgun, hustle up to the offensive line, and then just pummel your way behind centre for the 1 yard you need to go in and take the lead.
Now what you didn't see was how that play was set up, because they line up the quarterback Josh Greaves in shotgun and then give it to number 8 to actually punch it in.
And the kick is up, and the kick is good. University of Nottingham Gold 7, the UWE Bullets 0 in this Big BUCS Wednesday Premiership BUCS Championship Final here from the David Ross Sports Village in Nottingham.
Let's have a look again. You'll see that Finley Old just has a little tap, and it's number 8 that comes up under the centre and drives that ball across. Is it number 8? Let's get a number for you there. It might be even one of the bigger guys. Just can't see the number there, but it certainly wasn't Finley Old coming up. He tapped his colleague and said, you go and do it, and then you've just got a bunch of brute force just shoving their way into the end zone.
Again, here we go. Let's see if we can get that number for you again. There's the tap. It does look like an 8 to me. It might be a 78 call. It could be anything there. But
I think it might be big 78. But it would be great to know. We get that confirmed, maybe from another camera angle. We'll see if we can get that confirmed.
Regardless,
I think it's Eddie Seminov that scored that one. I think it's number 78 with the first score, which is an unlikely first score from UON. Nevertheless, it's 7-0 to the Gold.
and that is only, well, the Bullets didn't concede a touchdown at all during the regular season. Had a walkover in the first round of the playoffs, 1-0, as the ball is returned out to about the 25-yard line. Leeds Carnegie scored 6 points on them in the semi-final, so that is one of the only touchdowns that the Bullets have conceded all year long, Cole.
It's only the second touchdown they've conceded all year. Carnegie scored on them, but they've never conceded an extra point. That game 1-0 was a walkover of the Sterling Klansmen because they couldn't field a team. Here's the touchdown again, number 78, who's Semenov, coming up from his, and he's an offensive lineman, he's a big guy, and he just decides to go under centre, takes the snap, goes behind his centre. UWE don't make any adjustment, and look at the brute force as Snivety 2 just shoves him into the end zone.
So what can Neon Mugabu and the offense do as a little jet sweep? And number 25 is that man, Jax Crawford.
Flag on the play on that one is Xavier, sorry, not Xavier Gardner. It's number 5 for UON coming up to make a good tackle there on the edge. And that was Jack Mayfield from his right cornerback position to shut that down.
Bullets marching backwards, so that flag will more than likely be holding on a run play such as that. Put me 4-2 ahead. Just saying.
No one's listening.
If no one's listening, why we stood here on a cold March evening?
It'll be a 15-yard penalty. Replay first down.
So I can't claim that call because it was a personal foul rather than a hold.
Correction, that penalty was enforced half the distance.
Anyway, UWE Bullets are getting killed by these penalties.
So yeah, it should be a 15-yard penalty for a personal foul, but because of where the Bullets are on the field, it's half the distance to the goal line because they couldn't march 15 yards back because they're not 15 yards away from the goal line. So here we go again then. First down once again. The ball is given up the middle. There's a big hole. And that's a great pickup on first down. And look at the battle in there.
Yeah,
incredible.
I mean, all the gold shirts having to rally to bring the strength of that man down, and he's just got most of those 15 yards back on that penalty, and he's going to put them in a position where they're going to have a manageable second down and 6 or 7.
No huddle offense for Nyamagabu and the Bullets offense, and that ball and the running back thought he was going to get it, but Nyamagabu thought better of it himself, and he does keep the ball, picks up the first down, and back come the Bullets.
Nice saving tackle there. There was nobody behind number 39. Isaac Foster had to come up from his left cornerback position as that threat from Nyamagabu. Just such a speed and so difficult to track because he's so he's got that blistering speed. It was a great saving tackle in the end.
Such an exciting player to watch, as are the majority on this field. And at this time the ball is handed off, very similar to the play from the 15-yard personal foul penalty. And a first down, picks up the ball, pops out again. Was he down by contact, or is that going to be another turnover? The way the officials signalling, they are saying that Sam Jenkins was down by contact before the ball squirted out.
Well, Aaron Young comes over from his free safety position to track the runner. You'll see it here, number 25. It's a great run. It's an option again. And every time you're not quite sure who's got the ball, the runner comes bouncing out of that pile, and it's number 25 who tracks him down from behind and does what he's supposed to do, which is to try and rip that ball out. Aaron Young in the end not successful in getting the fumble.
So the Bullets in the half of the Gold now, and it's a design quarterback run play, and it's a positive one, and it picks up a first down and a couple more, and Nyamagabo flexes his muscles as he's pounded on the sideline but retains his feet and glares down at the defender. But guess what, Carl? Look one halfway.
He did, didn't he? And I think
holding on the offense, number 57.
When you
10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Look it out.
Penalties are killing UWE. They're absolutely killing them. But Nia Mugabe, who says, all right, just put it in my hands. I'll do it myself. This is the threat, right? And nothing else works. The QB running will work.
And like you say, then that little look at the end, just to say, is that all you've got? You need to bring a little bit more than that. So, from 1st and 10, we have 1st and 20. Nobody to the wide side of the field, and watch that way as the ball goes up the middle once again on that little option play. Picks up 6 yards on 1st down, brings up 2nd and 14.
Another flag. There are 3 teams on this field, and there's one team who's scoring the most points right now, and it's none of that. It's not in gold and it's not in black.
This time in the defensive secondary, the flag comes down. And the way that the Bullets are walking, it would suggest this time it's going against the gold-shirted team.
Personal foul.
It's almost
Face
like
mask
ball, isn't it? That,
on the defense. 15 yards, automatic 1st down.
So face mask on the tackle. That basically, again, for anybody new to the sport, means that somebody, the ball carrier, has been brought down by the face mask, and you cannot, for obvious reasons, in terms of looking after players' necks, you cannot grab the face mask to make a tackle.
Automatic 1st down as well, Matt.
It is indeed. Big break again, and that same play, exactly the same play again, and it proves profitable on 1st down. If you can pick up 4, 5, 6 yards on 1st down, you stay ahead of the chains and you put yourself in a very good position moving forward.
So difficult to defend the run option, because when you've got a real genuine threat, which Nyanagabu is, you have to respect the fact that he could at any time pull that ball and keep it himself. And so you've got 2 players on him, which creates gaps for that running back to come through the holes.
No huddle offense again. This time Nyanagabu goes to the air. Look at the speed of the feet to get out of that pressure. And he fakes one way. He's still on his feet. And he's at the goal line. Klein, as a flag comes down, and that's going to be a personal foul, I think. He's Carl, he's short of the goal line, but 2 flags on the field there. I'm sure that's going to be something to do with the way that tackle was made at the end, although the gold team are pointing towards the Bullets.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, it was a spectacular turn of pace again, wasn't it, from Nyanagabu, who's just using this currently as a way to
personal
showcase
foul.
his talents. Look
Blindside
at this
block.
speed. So takes
25
off.
of the offense. It's a 15-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. Take it down.
Yeah, the blindside block there, you can just see going in on number 87. So it is a legit call, and we have to protect those defending players as well. So nice call by the referees to bring that one back.
The penalty was
and it wasn't on the ball
21,
play, so it did
21.
impact that ability of that defender to make a tackle.
So those blindside blocks used to be legal, but they were outlawed, like you say, Cole, for the player's safety. You can't prepare yourself for a hit like that when you're running down the field. And that's when those injuries can occur, the more serious ones. So that is a personal foul.
Timeout now for the Bullets as they think about what they want to do, having had to suck up probably 45 yards of penalties on this drive, and each time they're having to come back, and each time they make yards, and each time they're dragged back, and it's exhausting for the Bullets having to deal with all these penalties.
It's exhausting for us up in the booth as well.
Bristol.
Timeout, Bullets.
That is the final timeout of the half.
We're still in the second period.
6-3-6. 6-3-6.
And as you heard our lead referee state, there are 6 minutes and 36 seconds left in this half of this Premiership Championship BUCS Big Wednesday game. What a game it's been, Carl. Sum it up for us so far.
Well, it really has. I mean, I love these sorts of games, low-scoring defensive battles, but offenses could score at any time, so you're constantly on tenterhooks waiting to see where the next big play is going to come from. On top of that, you've got some electrifying athletes on the field that can just switch on the showcase anytime they like.
No shortage of big plays between the 20-yard lines, but then those defenses stiffen when you get inside the red zone, and it's been the case at the moment. So here comes Nyamagabo and that Bullets offense again. He drops back, but it's a design QB run again, and that one's sniffed out, and another flag comes in.
Ugh.
And to tell you what, that's one of the longest throws of the game from the referee. That flag travelled at least 23 yards.
There we go. You should just hand the referee the mic.
Holding on the offense, number 80. The 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 2nd down.
I would really like to have had a count on the number of flags on this play, and like you said earlier, Carl, the amount of penalty yardage that the Bullets are having to overcome. But at the same time, for all the yardage that they are giving away to Nottingham, they are making big plays themselves to try and gain it back, but it's grinding.
For every 15 yards, they're having to make 30 yards, aren't they? Let's put it that way. They're coming back and forwards, back and forwards. Let's see what they can do here out of pistol.
Here we go then. Nyamagabu fields the high snap, hands it off, and the running back jump cuts to his right, and then he gets a pile, and it looks like a Six Nations maul as that pile is pushed forward, and that's Sam Jenkins once again on the carry.
And again, it's yards after contact, so you make initial contact on these runners, but they're not going to stop, and he keeps his legs moving. Offensive line then piling in, then the gold piling in, and the net result of that is a really good gain, which is going to get them close to first down. It's 3rd and 1.
No huddle offense again, trying to keep the gold on their toes. Nyamagabu this time drops back to pass, and he puts the ball up. He's got an isolation on the corner, and that's a great defensive play. Battered away by the DB. Number 38, I believe. Oh, guess what, Cole?
No, don't tell me, Matt. Is there a flag on the field?
There appears to be.
I think it's Isaac Foster that's defending that. Let's have a look. Number 39 is cornerback. Look at the bottom of your screen there. 16-39 is the matchup you're looking for. It's a perfectly thrown ball, but the defender has great position, gets his head round, and yeah, it looks like
ineligible
it's 39,
receiver downfield,
and
number
that's a
50
great play by
on the
Isaac
offense. 5-yard
Foster.
penalty, replay 3rd down.
But again, 5 yards lost for UWE, again on the flag.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Those big linemen have to be careful not to run too far down the field. They're only permitted to operate in a certain amount of yardage after that original line of scrimmage. So again, another penalty. 3rd down now, and around about 6. Nyamagabu hands off again, and they're going to pick 6 up his Jenkins, and that is going to be 1st down UWE. Jenkins on the carry.
Jack Mayfield again coming up from that right cornerback position to make these tackles. And if you are making tackles with cornerbacks and safeties again and again and again, you know that something's going wrong. Those defensive linemen not penetrating those linebackers, finding it difficult to really get to these runners before they're up to that 2nd and 3rd level.
1st down, Jenkins with the carry once again, and he runs into a pile of goal defenders, but he is short of the goal line. They can get a 1st down without scoring a touchdown at the moment.
Zarlo Kopp on the tackle there.
1st down is at the 1 yard line. You can see on the right hand side of your screen there, maybe the 2 yard line to get a 1st down, but it's 2nd down and about 4. And there he is. Nyamagabu jumps into the end zone untouched on another beautiful QB option.
Well, I mean, that's an impressive drive given the amount of penalties. 50 yards of penalties I think we saw called on the UWE. And they've driven down the field. Let's look at the misdirection here. Just looks, they've been so keying on Jenkins that Nyamagabu just manages to go in untouched, and he's so clever with his hands that they don't even know he's got the ball until it's too late.
Well, unfortunately, Arlo Kopp there, number 98, you can see just to the off left of your screen. He was playing defensive end on that play, and he got turned completely around, lost outside contain, which made it an easy job for Nyamagabu to waltz into the end zone, and they look to try and put 2 on the board.
Yeah, UWE, they just don't kick. They go for 2 every single time. And they do on this, and they take the lead here, and that's Drew Carson, the running back, who's driven that ball into the field, and they take a 1-point lead. Now it's interesting that Nottingham will know this from the tape, that UWE always go for 2, so they decided not to go for 2. We'll see how that works out for them. Certainly at the moment it will work out at a loss.
And in the grand scheme of this game as well, Carl, that Nottingham defence have been on the field for a long time. You know, okay, the offense might be refreshed, but equally the offense may be a little cold. But what's that going to do as the 3rd and 4th quarter progresses for that Nottingham defense, particularly with this high-powered Bullets offense pounding them on every drive? Big drive coming up here for the green and gold of the University of Nottingham.
What a game, Matt, what a game.
It's a fantastic game. Fantastic culmination to this 2021-22 BUCS American football season. Matt Walker and Carl Walkinshaw here in the booth on this crisp March evening from the David Ross Sports Village in the heart of Nottingham. So here we go then. Nottingham have a chance to respond. Very few possessions for each team so far in this one. The ball is kicked deep and it's a beautiful high hanging kick that's fielded at the 5. And it's got a good return and he's still on his feet, turns the corner and he's got some space down the sideline and he's then dragged down at the 40-yard line, but a beautiful return by number 83 for Nottingham. That's Elijah Sawyers.
Yeah, fantastic return. We'll get a look on that on the replay for you, but he had to take the ball quite deep in his own half within that 5-yard line and comes out and just shows tremendous speed. Had a little fake on that as well, a little shimmy of the fake, showed them something a little bit different and get them distracted, and then he makes his way on his left-hand side with a couple of really nice moves. And deceptive speed on that run again. These athletes on this 4G are so quick.
Absolutely. Nottingham starting great field position then. 5 yards away from midfield as Greaves looks to the right, now steps up into the pocket. He's got a man over in midfield and the man's up to the 30-yard line and he's dragged down at the 29. Number 84 for Nottingham. Give that reception to Charlie Escott.
Yeah, Charlie Escott just does a really good job, if you'll see here, of just sitting in front of the cover 3 that they've got going on. They have a single safety, he just sits in front of that safety, then the safety has to come up from his cover 3 position, and so it's just a really good job of reading the zone, and then Josh Greaves just picking out his player.
Well, a really brave throw by Greaves as well, because he stepped up into the pocket to avoid the rush from the edge, and as he released the ball he was met by a defender right in his face. Kind of the difference between quarterback play here and what I was talking about in the previous game, throwing off the back foot. This time the ball is handed off to Takanobi. Yep, that is Faith Takodi. And a small pickup on first down. It's going to be 2nd and 7.
If we run the replay here, you'll see, I'm not sure whether we'll get a replay, but you'll see again, with all of these runners that we've seen so far today, it's yards after contact, and Takody's no different. He's in the backfield, 2 yards in the backfield, gets hit, manages to turn and twist his body and gets to a point where they can't bring him down for less than a 5-yard gain.
So 2nd and 7, bunch formation, everything very narrow. Man in motion, stacks the right hand side a little bit, and that's where the ball goes with Takody, and Takody's got a gap off the right side and he's side down. Not until he's picked up close to what could be another Nottingham first down.
Fascinating. Ray thought he got his man to the ground there, Takody, but he managed to stay on his feet. I don't quite know how, but Takody's showing the skills that he's got, and it's 3rd and short now after that run. I mean, there's talent all over the field.
It's great to watch, it really is. And you've got to give credit. We don't often mention those offensive linemen, Carl, do we? They never get the dues, those men in the trenches, whether it's the offensive or defensive line. Occasionally the defensive line get credit if they're putting pressure on the quarterback, but those offensive linemen creating gaps for the runners, giving the quarterback time, making the whole offense work. Doesn't matter how good your skill players are if those 5 men up front aren't able to do their job. And they're definitely doing this for Nottingham and for the Bullets today, as Greaves hands off once again, and Takody has a little bit of a gap and will pick up the first down, and they're inside the red zone or the Gold of Nottingham.
Yeah, there it is, that first down. What about this for an answer from the Gold? I mean, they weren't intimidated coming in. They've seen some of the score lines. Only 1 touchdown scored. UWE have blown some teams out 72-0, but they've just come in and played their game, and by God, they're having a really good one so far tonight.
And you've got to say, this is efficient.
2-minute warning.
The Bullets, as
warning.
effective as they were, the penalties. Apologies, Mr. Official, we're at the 2-minute warning. So 2 minutes in the first half remaining. But Nottingham, no flags on this drive yet. Don't want to give commentators curse. But no flags on this drive, so they're being efficient in their movement. Whereas UWE had to work really hard to overcome all the misdemeanors from their offensive unit. So let's see what Greaves and the offense can do on 1st and 10, just inside the 20-yard line. In fact, nearer the 15 as he drops back to pass, looks right, then comes back to his left. Nice feet, drops the ball over the middle, and he has a man, and that man is met. He's still on his feet to the goal line. It's so close, but I think he's going to be pulled up about a yard short. First down, Nottingham.
It's Kelvin Alotti with the reception there over the middle, and he's going to get battered, but he tries to get into the end zone, and then he's just got collisions coming in from his left and his right. What a great throw from Josh Greaves, and what great poise to step up into the pocket and just loft that ball over the top. So Nottingham now knocking on the door as we have a look at the replay.
So I was always told, oh, there's a receiver. Yeah, you've got a Lottie here on the right
bottom
side
right
of your
screen.
I was always told you're going to get hit coming across the middle, so you may as well catch the football, hold on to it, because you're going to get hit anyway. And look at that great turn, and then bang, bang. But he maintains his balance and battles to the goal line. As we see Nottingham, that there is a flag down. There is a flag down as Nottingham go into the end zone in the shape of Cody, but let's wait on the flag. I think it's going to come back.
Just on that, we'll just see the play here.
Holding on the offense, number 31. 10 yards from the
Cody's.
previous spot. Replay first down.
Yeah, it's called on number 31. It doesn't look. It doesn't look. Oh, I don't know.
Well, yeah, his hands.
It didn't look like much to me, but it's the key block.
His hands. I think, Carl, if you look at the replay here, I think his hands are outside. You know, you've got to get your hands.
Let's look closely while he runs here. Watch number 31 on the edge there.
Yeah, that's a hold.
All right,
that's a hold.
All right.
All day long. Right call there from
here we go back
the
to
officials.
life.
So here we go then. So it's still first and goal, but backed up now at the 10-yard line as opposed to the 1. Greaves with 3 receivers to his right, 1 running back behind him. He looks to his right. He fires out to the flats, and that's a great throw and catch. But the swarming defense and just pounding. The punishment on these ball carriers is insane and relentless.
Brian Peavy already with a pick today, and I tell you, wanted that ball out, didn't he? He was going to separate body from ball on that tackle. Great piece of defending, immediate hit.
This is a really important possession as Nottingham take time out. And I'll tell you why in a second.
Second timeout. 1:42 remaining.
If you remember,
1:42.
So 1 minute 42 remaining, Carl. If you remember, Nottingham won the toss and deferred. So they'll be getting the football at the beginning of the second half. And the difference between getting the football 7-8 down or maybe 14-15-8 ahead
time is 1-2-2.
is significant in this one.
1-2-2, correction, 1-2-2.
You're right, Matt. You should do some coaching.
If I had time, I'd love to come back coaching. I really, really would. I miss this game more than you can imagine. But at the same time, it's situational football now, isn't it? 1 minute 42. You know, you had first and goal on the 1. You've now got second and goal from about the 7.
There's my man AK, number 44 there in the UWE huddle there. One of the great talents that I had the privilege to coach at NTU before he made his way to UWE, and a great guy. Yeah, I mean, when you come down to like 1 point, it's 8-7. All of those tiny decisions that you make, whether you defer, whether you receive, what side of the field you take, they all come into play.
At the time, these decisions don't seem significant, but as the game unfolds, every minor decision can play such a huge part. So second and goal. Greaves goes to the corner. It's in and out. It's a touchdown, Nottingham.
That is a hell of a catch.
There's a flag.
No, you don't say, Matt.
There's a flag.
A flag.
Is it going to be a push-off against the receiver? That receiver again, number 80, is Jatori Reed. And here comes the call from our official. We'll have a look but won't talk about it.
Yeah, watch the play, bottom right
Pass
of your screen.
Offense,
for
number
the
80.
referee.
A 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay second down.
So all I can think is that was a push-off on the defender before Jatori Reed went elevation to actually catch that ball.
That's all it could possibly be, Cole, because obviously your separation at the line of scrimmage isn't going to be pass interference. You know, even if there is a little bit of contact at the line of scrimmage, once you've made that separation, the only time it can be pass interference
remaining.
on an offensive player is for a push-off. So 1:14 remaining in this second period. Let's see if we can see it again. That's a little bit too late on that one. Let's just have a look if we can see on the replay.
I don't think you can see it. That's great work.
I think it's
from
earlier
our
on.
Crew there trying to give us the look. But I think it happened earlier on in the play. Here we go.
Here we go. Greaves steps up. He's got a man going crossing pattern. And again, he's met by 3 people and the ball comes out. But he's whistled down again. Is it going to be a complete pass? Or is it going to be ruled incomplete? It's ruled complete.
Gavin Jordan coming away with the ball finally.
Got holding offense 56. Holding offense 56. Let's ask the coach. Ask the coach. Coach, you want the penalty or do you want the down? Move back.
There's a penalty flag down as well. I didn't quite catch what that was. Another hold.
56.
Yeah, holding on number 56.
Holding offense, they'll take the
And
penalty.
from first and goal on the
Except for
one,
the previous.
we're now. Sorry, Mr. Referee. From first and goal on the one, Nottingham are now third and goal from their own 30.
You couldn't have seen it because he hooked them right in front of you.
No, it's my mistake.
Hooked them
Second
right
and goal
in.
because of the penalty. We had two penalties back to back, so it's second and goal. Second and goal from the 33-yard line. Wow.
So 30 yards of penalties on consecutive downs. One on the PI, one on the hold. And UON are running out of time really to get into the end zone here. They're going to have to take some shots from their own, from the 33 of UWE.
Oh, he's in pressure, Carl. A little screen pass, and that's a nice dump off. Number 31 on the reception is Adewale once again.
Gavin Jordan did well again on that one. They're so clever, UON, because they're finding the zones and they're taking advantage of a very aggressive defence. And if UWE stay in this zone coverage, I think this is going to be the way the second half goes as well. They're going to need to play some man.
But even with that call, with all the pressure there that Josh Greaves had on him, he dumped the ball off, and there's only a pickup of 5 yards there. The speed of the pursuit by the Bullets, just incredible.
Yeah, it's a quality game all round. Speed of the offense and speed of the defense to
Is that
react
their last
to what
time
they're
out or
doing.
their second?
Now, if I'm Jason Scott here, I'm wanting points. A touchdown is really a pipe dream on third and goal from the 26-yard line, 27-yard line. So I'm thinking if I can pick up maybe 10, 11 yards on third down, I want to go in leading at half-time.
Yeah, absolutely. You want a late score in the second quarter to ensure that you can get in. As you can see, UWE huddling there on the sideline, just working out what the strategy should be if they do need to get back onto the field, the offense, and calculating how much time they might have.
So here we go then, third and goal. And the ball is play action, and then Greaves goes over the middle, and that's almost intercepted. Great reading by Rivera there, playing centre field. Reads the quarterback's eyes and almost has another pick.
Yeah, Rivera and Peavy have just been all over those passes over the centre of the field whenever Nottingham have tried to pass in that direction. Where they've where they've played and tried to throw to the corners, they have had more success, but nothing over the middle so far.
I'll tell you what, Cole, with those incomplete passes and the penalties, we've still got about a minute left. And this is fourth down for Nottingham. You turn the ball over here with another incomplete pass, you're giving that explosive Bullets offence an opportunity to even stretch their lead before the half.
And that's why they're huddling on the sideline, working out what plays they want to run. Here we go with the field goal attempt.
Field goal attempt, as you say, by Nottingham to try and retake the lead. It's a long attempt. Kick is down, it's up, it looks good if it's straight enough, but I think that's going to go wide to the left. Wide left again, and indeed, with just about a minute left, that dangerous Bullets offense gets an opportunity for a quick strike score.
So 2 field goal attempts from UON, both of them no good. So will that come back to haunt this Gold team?
There you go, they've left 6 points out there so far. So they could be 13-8 ahead had they taken those opportunities. But here comes the ever-dangerous Nyamagabo and that Bullets offense. In fact, different quarterback in, Cole. Interesting. New quarterback in for the Bullets. And he's looking to go deep. He's got time as the Nottingham team drift, and that's attempted pass to the sideline. No flags. Oh, there is. I say no flags. Of course there's a flag. And in that vicinity, that's going to be a hold once again, I would have thought. Quarterback for the Bullets is number 10. Unfortunately, don't have a name for number 10. We'll try and bring that to you as soon as we can.
See if we can get an updated roster here for you. See if we can get a name for...
So the referee's mic not on at the moment. That's an ineligible man downfield for the Bullets.
Probably run out of batteries so now he's talking.
Ineligible man downfield is a 5-yard penalty, so it's first and 15. First and 15 for the Bullets. So once again, ball handed off up the middle, and it's a good gain on first down, but the clock will continue to run and the Bullets are out of timeouts. So 2nd and 6 from the 30-yard line. And will the Bullets be content with letting the clock run down now?
Where is Ivan Niamagabo? Where has he gone? Why is he off the field?
Really interesting. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the half at the BUCS Big Wednesday National Championship game for American football. With the score, the University of Nottingham Gold 7, the UWE Bullets 8. So Carl, shortly we'll be able to bring you an interview that we've managed to put together earlier on with the president of BAFCA, the British American Football Coaches Association, Wayne Hill. But Carl, let's have a run through some of the highlights there from that first half.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the scoreline before we get into some of those replays, let's have a look at some of these replays. So this was early on in the game. Look at the dancing feet of Sam Jenkins, the running back, early on, just to show you. We've only had 2 scores, but there's been some spectacular skill on play here.
And this was the reception, the deep ball down to Jatori Reed, splitting those safeties, Carl. And a big 40, 50-yard pickup there, and the University of Nottingham were in business at that stage.
Yeah, and he beat the corner, did Jatori Reed, and we thought that was going to go for a score, but the UWE managed to rally such speed on both these sides. This is Josh Grieve over the middle to try and get that, and there's the pick. And this was the PI call that wasn't the PI call as far as I could see. Of course, can't see all of the field. There's 8 pairs of eyes down there on this refereeing crew, and by gum, they've made sure that they've made that known tonight. But that was certainly a great play by the defence. This came back on a hold. This was number 31 going in for a gold touchdown.
That was Adewale, which was hold back, yeah.
And now you'll actually see them getting closer towards this end zone. This, I believe, will be to Cody. So this is a nice play to set them up for the... so this was the interception which put them in a situation which turned into a turnover on the next play. But there's number 7 there, Brian Peavy,
who's been one of the
Gabriel
stars.
Rivera. Yeah, it's 6 and 7 who
yeah.
have been amazing on that UWE defence.
Well, you could suggest that they've had Nottingham at 6s and 7s.
Very good, Matt.
But again, I mean, you know, you look at these highlights and the way that Peavy was carrying that football there, carrying it in one hand like a loaf of bread, as we see to Cody then going close down to the score, down to the 1 yard line, and that was where we got. And I tell you what, Cole, that's the difference. You first and goal there, you stop that, and Nottingham have had first and goal 2 or 3 times, and then been marched back. You know, so that just shows you how important those tackles are.
So here's the touchdown. Watch 78. Who would you have money on? Would you have an offensive lineman scoring the first touchdown in this game? Because I wouldn't have, and he does. It's a brilliant play from UON, and that's what they've done. They've come out and have shocked UWE with some of their play calling, but such a smart play just to go under centre, and it's just brawn and meat over that line and into the end zone.
And then that man Niamagabu on the football again, handing it off, not knowing whether or not that ball is going to be handed off or taken. He's such a dual threat runner, and that time Jenkins put his foot in the ground, picked up a big amount of yardage, and it is at the end of every play with these guys, they're finishing physically, and the footwork here from Niamagabo is just phenomenal.
Yeah, this was an incredible run. Look, 1, 2, 3, I'll take you one way, I'll take the other. This is how you break people's ankles.
But unfortunately,
he's just an incredible runner. Guess what happened on that play, Matt?
That was an illegal blindside block, and so that one was negated as well. Niamagabo once again to the air, and this one came back, I believe.
No, that was just a great piece of defending from number 39 by Mickey Fisher.
And this was the touchdown by Niamagabo, and once again, number 98 lost outside contain. Eyes were focused on the running back. Niamagabo pulled the ball out of the running back's grasp and waltzed in for 6. Then Greaves, with some nice footwork of his own, stepping up into the pocket, finds number 84 over the middle, Charlie Escott, and the University of Nottingham on the charge again, using his feet once again, and it fires back across his body, and another fantastic reception.
These were just smart plays, because what they're doing is they're going over the linebackers' heads, but just in front of those defensive backs. And this is what I'm saying about UWE staying in that zone coverage. So many times Josh Greaves caught them out with those plays over the middle.
Here's a touchdown that wasn't. Number 31 on the left side of your screen called for holding, as Cody goes in what he thought was the go-ahead score.
And to be fair, that was a clear hold. And here's another touchdown that wasn't after what they called as a push-off offensive pass interference. So how many times have these teams been in the end zone? What, 5 or 6 times for plays that have been called back?
So a really breathless first half, Carl. Really breathless first half. As we get ready for the second half, how do you see this going? You know, with the amount that Nottingham have had the ball, and the amount that Nottingham defence actually has been on the field, how does that second half, who's going to go into the first half break, who's going to go into half time the more buoyed out of the two teams, who's going to be the most confident coming out?
I think UON have really shown that they can compete with UWE, and I think UWE are in shock. I'm still seeing that on the field a little bit, but I think in half-time the coaches will get them together and say, what did you expect? Did you expect to come here and blow out UON 40-0? No. We need to step up, and we need to make the plays that we know we can make. We need to cut down these penalties, and we need to go out and take this team on. They're not going to be any pushover, and if you expected an easy game, you can forget it. And from my perspective, that's what makes a great second half, because you know UON are going to come out and want to do the same.
Does the fact that UON have had first and goal twice and not managed to punch it in give that defence of the Bullets an advantage?
I don't think so in terms of the gameplay that we've seen. I think those defenders know exactly why those plays have been called back, and I think UON will just keep coming at them and coming at them. I don't think there's going to be any drop in the heads. I've been really impressed with UON. You can probably tell by the way I'm saying. I expected the Bullets to be great. I really did, and they are. They are as billed. But UON have come in and they're really competing well.
Well, we will look forward to the second half starting again in a few minutes' time. But as I mentioned earlier, we were very fortunate this evening to have Wayne Hill, the president of the British American Football Coaches Association, with us here in Nottingham, and I managed to catch up with him just before the game started. Delighted to be joined here on BUCS Big Wednesday by the president of BAFCA, Mr. Wayne Hill. Thank you very so much for joining us, Wayne.
Thanks for inviting me over.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
What a game, obviously, we've got in store here with the final between the UWE Bullets and the University of Nottingham Gold. We've just seen a fantastic trophy performance by the SGS Pride. I know you've got links all around the country to American football, so just based on the Pride's performance, just talk to us a little bit about what that will mean for that organisation.
Yeah, it's a massive benefit for the organisation, massive kind of promotion of what they've built over the years. Obviously now being in BUCS, they've been kind of aiming to do that for a number of years now. So to finally be here and have the campaign that they've had and to put that kind of product on the field has been a real credit to Coach Herod and the staff that he's got there. So really all credit to them. Newcastle did a great job here today. Again, I think Coach O'Regan has kind of built a programme there. It's been something that has he's taken over this year, and to come straight back into it and get to the final has been really, really positive. So it was a good game, some highlights on both teams, and for me, from seeing those SGS guys, and we're going to see those again in a couple of weeks' time for the GB Students All-Star programme. So that's been great to see them, and personally to have Jay get the MVP from Birmingham Lions under 17s player is really prideful for me.
We'll talk a little bit more about the All-Star game that you mentioned in a second, but moving on to the championship game that we're about to see between the Nottingham and the Bullets. What's the difference in the step up between that Div 1 and the Prem in terms of both, you know, athletes, but also the quality of play? What can those two teams expect for next season?
Yeah, I think just the physicality and the size of the athletes out here and the speed of those athletes, it's quite a big step up, and I think we've seen that year on year in BUCS. Those teams that have stepped up from Div 1 into the Prem have kind of had to have that kind of learning experience there. So I think that'll be looking at these guys here that for Nottingham and UWE. There's so much talent on the field, and that's going to be a big step up for anyone that goes into the Prem. So I think it's going to be a great game today. There's some real kind of talent on show. Both coaching staffs are really quality, so they're going to be really prepared, and it's going to be a great game to see.
Well, obviously we're doing this interview prior to the game, so I want you to do a little bit of fortune telling, really, Wayne. This is going to go out at half time, so what do you expect the first half to contain, and we'll see how accurate you've been.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an explosive game. I think they're going to want to come out and stamp their mark. I think there's going to be a lot of physicality out there from both teams. I think really it's going to be the team that kind of really lays their mark early on, and then kind of can develop it from there. So I think we'll see a lot of physicality and see if we can get those playmakers the ball as soon as possible on both sides of the field.
You've got your fingers in lots of pies in the British American football game. Obviously, the president of BUCS, the Coaches Association. There's a coaches conference coming up soon. I know you want to talk about that a little bit. So, what can we expect? I know it's been held here at the University of Nottingham before. Whereabouts this year, and what have you got in store?
Yeah, so we're at Keele University this year. So, unfortunately, Nottingham couldn't host us this time. So, we're at Keele University on the 8th to the 10th of July. We've got 6 American speakers coming over, talking about all different types of topic areas, from offense, defense, special teams, flag football, and then obviously we've got a large amount of our own talented coaches, both male and female, speaking about the different codes of the sport and their experiences, just to really share that knowledge. It'll be a great networking opportunity for everybody, and it's not really kind of what you get from the actual speakers. You'll pick up so much from them, but it's actually between the talks that is the really important aspect, and those discussions, those Q&As with each other. How would you kind of work against this defence or this offence? That's a priority for us. So hopefully facilitate that as part of the convention, and hopefully be great to be back face to face after these COVID times.
Absolutely. Well, obviously, American football in this country is still very much a minority sport, and obviously the community of the coaches can bring so much to each other in terms of not only developing their own squad but bringing the game forward as well. You mentioned about that All-Star game. This isn't the last we'll see of University's American football this year. Talk to us about the All-Star game, how it's how it started and where that's going.
Yeah, I mean, it was resurrected just prior to COVID. It had been a staple really for university football over a number of years. Went on hiatus for a few years, then was brought back through Football America. We wanted it to be part of the GB Students programme because it's great to identify that talent. So when we've come back from COVID now, starting up the GB Students programme, we wanted to start off with the All-Stars to enable us to see the talent that's out there. Sure. And we've seen a lot of talent out there. So we've been through trials, been through our selection process. We now have our game on the 9th of April at Coventry BUCS Arena. So all of the under 16s are going to be free entry to the arena that day, and then we'll kind of get that promoted. So there's going to be a lot of talent from everything that's been on show today, from other players that are around the country as well, and then we'll move them forward through the GB Students programme.
You talk about obviously developing the game all the time. What does it mean for American football now to be part of this big BUCS Wednesday?
Yeah, I think it's that recognition, really, that partnership with BUCS that we're moving forward with, and there's more things happening with BUCS and BAFA, and there's more on the cards. So I think that partnership is really key for us. BUCS kind of seeing American football as such a prestige sport, and seeing the athletes that are out here, and the more scholarships that universities are offering, the opportunities that we're having to develop our own athletes through BUCS systems as well. That's really important. So that ties into everything that we're doing in partnership with BUCS with their performance programme to enable us to go to the World Championships in 2 years' time.
Well, there is so much more we can talk about, and I know, like you, we'll have day jobs, and this is sort of a hobby on the side type thing.
Definitely.
But I just want to thank you from all the spectators for all the input that you continue to have with the sport, and we just enjoy watching it grow from strength to strength. So thank you ever so much, and we'll see you again soon.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Welcome back to the David Ross Sports Village here in Nottingham for this Big BUCS Wednesday on a Tuesday. National Championship Final between the UWE Bullets and the University of Nottingham gold. We have a half-time score of the University of Nottingham 7 and the UWE Bullets 8 in what has been a breathless, athletic, physical, show-stopping first half of action here in Nottingham under the lights. Just a little adjustment to bring you. We've been saying that Nottingham touchdown was scored by number 78. In fact, our production crew have had a little bit of a closer look, and indeed it was number 28 who we can credit for that score. That's Abel Mampaka, who was the touchdown scorer. Carl, what can we expect really from... Oh, my mistake, Abel Mampaka. He's the UWA number 28. Yeah.
I think it was Jack Brennan who's the defensive tackle, the size of that defensive lineman. So that's what I was looking at, thinking it was an offensive lineman. It was actually a defensive lineman, number 28. So, so it was a really good play by him. And a surprising play that a defensive tackle would score the opening touchdown in the championship final. Would you have put money on that, Matt?
I wouldn't have put money on anything, no, I wouldn't. And actually, our production crew now are apparently wiping off all my flag success in the first half because I've called a UWE player to score for Nottingham.
I've just given up pointing out your mistakes, Matt. That's where I've got to now with this.
Carl, I've always enjoyed working with you, but this might be the end of a beautiful relationship.
Oh dear. Well, you've got to have some fun, haven't you, Matt? I mean, with all those flags you've called today. Anyway.
Well, interestingly, on a serious note, you think about the flags. Have the flags almost put a dampener on this game a little bit? Or, as an officiating crew, you're in a final. There's certain things that you have to call, like the blindside hit, you have to call from a safety point of view. But there are certain things in a final that you can just kind of let them play a little bit. What's your opinion?
That is my opinion. Let the teams play. You have the slight different when you get to the quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals. You get a crew of 8. Now, a full crew, British American football, is about 7, and then you get this extra crewman that comes in. And I think it's too much. I mean, I do. I think everything's called. I think it's influencing the game in ways it doesn't have to be. Yes, you have to call, plays that are dangerous. And I'll probably get criticised for saying this, but that's how it feels. It feels like there's a lot of flags and that there's 3 teams out there rather than 2.
I suppose on the other side of things, though, if you do let them play to the degree where you're not picking things up, is there an argument then that a team, if there is a decision that hasn't been called and is really influential on the game, is there a team that could have a little bit of a point to prove that shouldn't have happened? So really, the rules are being upheld, I suppose.
To be fair to the referees, when I have looked at the tape, and we've looked at the tape, they've been right. They've been right. But it does feel, as we're calling it, every other play is a flag. It's an offside. It's a false start. It's a holding. And it does feel like it's influencing the game. I mean, UWE on that drive had to drive, 100 yards to go 50 yards because they're going back and forth. But what can you do? The referees get trained in the way they get trained. They're going to call what they're going to call. So, they're just doing their job out there, and I understand that. But it does feel heavy to me.
And equally, on that particular drive you're talking about, where you kind of say about being 3 teams out there, the officials will obviously argue, well, actually, you're beating yourself. We're just calling what we see. If you don't want us to call flags, then play within the rules. So, it's a difficult one, isn't it?
And it may be that when you get to the postseason games, like I say, there are so many referees on the field that the stuff that you felt like was borderline becomes, clear fouls rather than you were getting away with it in regular season. Now you're not. And everything will be checked. I know when we played Newcastle, I think we had the same crew, and they were checking everything. They were checking whether our kit was right, whether our knees were covered up, this, that, and the other, and they were kind of coming round and making sure that that's happened. And that's their role in this kind of game.
So, to be fair, we're not here really to talk about the officiating crew, and not to criticise them either, because without them we wouldn't have a game, full stop. But let's talk about the 2 teams out there, okay? I had a conversation, as you'll have seen in the interview at half-time, I had a conversation with Wayne Hill about what he perceived the game to be, and he said about it being a physical, explosive game. Whichever team brought that physicality would jump out in front, and I think we've seen that to a large degree without either team being able to really be dominant.
We've definitely seen it from both of them, and I saw Raf, who's one of the coaches on the University of Nottingham, who I used to coach, and I was as I was heading down to see whether I could get a drink, Raf was Raf was there and I said, what, you guys have came to play? And he kind of looked at me very calmly and was like, well, yeah, what did you expect? I think a lot of people expected UWE to blow this thing out of the water and for this to be a done deal by half time. It certainly has not gone that way, and I don't see the second half going that way either. I think the coaching that you're seeing from UON has been absolutely spot on. The scripted drives that they've had first of all when they're grabbing the momentum back and really letting UWE know that they're here to play. There's been a lot of excitement on the field, and I'm excited to see what comes of this, because UWE with that very slim lead, I don't think that's going to last.
I had a conversation prior to the game with a neutral individual who shall remain nameless, and for obvious reasons. And I said, give me a prediction based on what you know of these two teams. And the prediction was either UWE will win going away, or it's going to be a close one that Nottingham will pinch. Now, at the moment, one of those predictions is looking favourable. But how do you see this second half unfolding, given the fact that Nottingham have been on that goal line a couple of times, they're getting the ball at the start of the second half, but UWE, we know, have the speed as well as the size and the power to accommodate and to take away that Nottingham offence?
I think it's going to come down to a few very special plays by some very special players, and I think that's what's going to make the difference in this one. Now, who those special players are, only they know on the field, and that's what the coaches will be saying to them. They'll be saying, look, now's the time. If you have anything left, you've got now, half an hour to really make sure that you can make this thing count, and it will come down to those very special plays, and I, for one, am looking forward to seeing what's going to happen.
I can't wait, Carl. One of the interesting storylines coming into the second half, we saw at the end of the first half, the quarterback for the Bullets, Ivan Nyamogabo, didn't take the field for the last few plays. Now, we don't know, we've not been told anything untoward about his status, but we hope not only for the Bullets but also for the spectacle of this game that we see him again in the second half when the Bullets do go back on offence.
You can see the flags flying there as we get back to the live action as the kickoff's just about to begin, Matt. Looking forward to this second half. Here we go.
So I hope you've put the kettle on, you're settled down, you've got your snacks, because the second half of this Premiership final is underway. And the ball is taken at the 5-yard line. And, great pursuit by the Bullets, but a high tackle and no flags on this one. Now, if ever there was going to be a flag call, you thought it might have come out of there for a dangerous tackle, but no.
I always give tacklers the benefit of the doubt. That looks good from up here. I think, it's a shirt pull down from the back. Unless it's a face mask or horse collar, if you're strong enough, you can get a guy going the other way and it looks like a terrible tackle, but, a good tackle from what I could see up here.
Spoken like the true defensive coordinator that you are. But here we go then. So Nottingham once again have the football in their possession. That quarterback, Joshua Greaves, under centre. Two receivers to the right, two to the left, one back behind him, and he goes to the air straight away, steps up into the pocket and fires over the middle, and that's in and out of the hands and almost intercepted on the very first play from scrimmage in the second half. Intended receiver was that man we've spoken about in the first half, number 88. It's Kelvin Alotti.
Here's the replay on this. Josh Greaves going immediately to the air. Obviously, they deferred in the first half to get the ball back. So let's see whether we can shock UWE. He has to roll out to his left slightly. And because he's a right-handed quarterback, that works to his favour, rather to his right. But that ball is tipped, and look how many UWE players are around there. Very close there to an interception.
Been very impressed with the way that Greaves handles the pressure, steps up into the pocket and then fires moving forward. He's done that a few times tonight as he goes to the air once again. He's got a little bit more time and fires. He got a man over the middle again, and that's going to be a Nottingham first down, pending any laundry on the field. And just as I say it, laundry comes out from the referee.
And that's going to be, I think, on 44 or 53. They were just mixing it up. That's AK. Player I used to coach. We'll see whether he was involved in that. But in terms of that play, Josh Greaves, drilling that in. There were 3 UWE players around in that zone. Let's hear from the ref.
44, the defense. 15 yards,
once
first
again,
down.
Unfortunately, there we go. So the referee does confirm that is a personal foul against the Bullets, which will add to the end of the run. So a 15-yard pickup through the air becomes a 30-yard pickup with the 15-yard penalty added on. So first down Nottingham, close to midfield, and they're in business straight away at the start of this second half. Jamie Greaves? No, Joshua Greaves even. retakes the field. Been very impressed with his composure in the face of this stout defence. And I always think, Carl, when you've got a team in black, all in black, you know, they kind of bring another level of ferocity. As Greaves again finds his man on the outside, and he steps out of one tackle, and more laundry on the field.
Well, yeah, it hasn't taken long for them to throw the flags, has it? I mean, I think, you know, that play there to the sidelines, a great example there of UON just taking what these bullets are giving them. But I have to say, unless if UWE keep playing this zone defence, Josh Greaves is going to continue to pick them apart.
Holding on the offense, number 50.
This is
10-yard
against the
penalty. Placing them.
And this very reminiscent of the UWE drive. It's going to be first down and 20 as a result of that hold. So Greaves has to go back to work again. 3 receivers to his right to the wide side of the field, 1 to the left and 1 back alongside him to his right, and that back is looking to pick up the blitz. Greaves rolls and then puts the ball up top. He has a man out in front, and that's great coverage. Step by step with the receiver is number 13 for the Bullets, and that looks like Toure.
I mean, Toure was step for step for that receiver. What a fantastic throw from Josh Greaves. I mean, that was on the money. The defender there, Toure, just did a great job of just shadowing that receiver up the sideline, and no chance for the reception to be made because he was using that sideline as that extra defender and taking away that throwing lane from the quarterback.
What's even more impressive by that throw, it wasn't from like a solid base. That was on the run. He's rolled out to his right and thrown that 40 yards on the run.
Absolutely. That was, and even with these colours, it, reminded me of that sort of type of things that Aaron Rodgers can do in the NFL.
This time, Greaves, play action. He goes down the middle again. He's got a man, but he underthrows it this time. And it looked like there was going to be a call for pass interference there, but nothing called that time. 83 for Nottingham is Elijah Sawyers, who was looking for the flag.
Let's have a look at the replay on this one. Play action, Josh Green just looking again to get behind those 2 safeties, but look at the coverage on that. Absolute perfection.
And we've called his name back to back. Number 13, Toure, in coverage once again, and just like that, it's 3rd and 20 for the men in gold.
Let's see what they can do from this 3rd and 20.
So you'd think that Greaves was going to go upstairs again, because that pursuit of the Bullets defence, anything underneath is going to be swarmed quickly. Rolls to his right and he does go over the top. He's got a man on the sideline. What a grab! What a grab, and an adjustment made on the sideline by Adewale. Back shoulder throw by Greaves, and Adewale had to not only pirouette but then catch the ball going low down to his knees, and he manages to reel it in, stay in bounds and pick up a Nottingham first down. Amazing.
Let's have a look at this now. You can see Adewale, number 31, in motion to the top of your screen. He's going to set off now. Those 2 receivers clear a path for him. Josh Greaves sees it. Watch this body control as he has to turn to that back shoulder, twists round, makes the reception whilst having great coverage. Absolute magic.
Some incredible individual efforts, and I'm beginning to think that Josh Greaves is a more accurate passer on the move than he is actually back in the pocket. Having said that, he put that beautiful ball over the middle on the post in the first half, and the ball is handed on first down, and it's Adewale again turning from receiver to runner, picks up 3 yards. 2nd and 7 upcoming.
Yeah, they had a heavy set. That's one of the first times we've seen that from UON coming in. Watch the amount of offensive linemen that are on the offensive line. This is the play from Josh Greaves. You're just watching the sideline play there, and you can see the twisting and turning Adewale as he brought that in. That was 3rd and 19, and to convert on that to bring up this 2nd and 7.
So Greaves again, 2 receivers to his left, with a tight end on that side as well, and the ball is handed off, and it's this time a great lateral pursuit, and that's going to be a loss of 5 yards, which will bring up 3rd and 11.
Guess who? Brian Peavy again coming in on to Cody there. Just a fantastic play, and just so much speed from that position on the, where Peavy plays. I think it's safety he's playing, or corner, but to come up so quickly in run support, just a great job against an athlete like Cody.
And like you say, he's coming up from the safety position there, so he's had a long way to run and to make sure that he doesn't over pursue as well. So incredible athleticism once again from that defensive secondary of the Bullets. So looking like 3rd and 10. Here he goes then, Greaves to the air again. He's got a man outside and it's caught, and he makes his first man miss, and that is going to be very close to a first down. Looking on the near side, the official on the near side is signalling 4th down. It is going to be 4th and just about a yard call, but again manageable, and you think with the explosiveness of this Nottingham offence, they'd definitely have it in the bag to pick up a yard.
Yeah, I mean, they could even go for that play that they made with the touchdown with, where they gave it to the defensive tackle, Jack Brennan, on number 28, and get the yard that they need. They know they can move this UWE line when they need to. But on that play, just fascinating the way that this game is turning out. Anyway, let's hear from the referee. Timeout.
First timeout at 10-4-0.
Yeah, so
10-4-0, timeout, Nottingham.
So 10:40 left in the 3rd period. Nottingham's first possession of the 3rd period. UWE yet to touch the football, and Nottingham not only managing to eat up yardage, but obviously run down the clock. And Coach Scott has deemed this a big enough part of the game to burn one of his 3 second-half timeouts. And I would agree with him. 4th and a yard, just outside the 25-yard line. A pivotal moment potentially here, Cole.
It's such a tight game that when you get these moments, 4th and 1, 3rd and short, when, especially if you're in the half of your opponent and you're a point down, you are going to take a little bit of time. Let's see if they do go back to that heavy set and just give it to 28 Jack Brennan and just take it up the middle. Here we go. Who's he going to tap? There he goes. The same play. 28 goes in, and they're going to shove it for the yard. There you go. Exactly the same as the touchdown play. If it works and you can't stop it, they're just going to keep doing it till you can.
It's the old, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And like you said before, if something isn't working and you keep doing it, it won't work. If something is working and you keep doing it until they figure out a way to stop you. First down, Nottingham. Could be a big call in this game, and it is number 28 again. The scorer of the touchdown, Jack Brennan, D-tackle.
Candidate for MVP so far, Jack Brennan, huh?
A touchdown and a 4th down conversion. So here we go, first down, UON. On the 25-yard line of the Bullets. Greaves once again in that familiar formation, 2 receivers to the left. And in motion comes the running back, and it's a little toss sweep. And he makes the first man miss. And that's Adewale. Picks up a few on the play, and maybe going to give him 4 or 5 yards on first down, Cole.
Yeah, Bassi had to come over and help out from his safety position. You'll see on the replay here, it's a quick pitch to 31. Sometimes they fake that. This time he runs into space, and look at the space he had, looking for the sticks. There's the dive where you're over-committing as a defender before the running back makes the cut. And now we're back to live action.
2nd and 5 coming up. 2nd and 5. Again, those who are new, it's their second opportunity to gain 5 yards, which will give them another set of 4 chances to move the ball another 10 yards as Adewale comes in motion once again. Ball goes up the middle to Adewale. I bet no, it's not Adewale, but it is a first down for the University of Nottingham, and they're knocking on the door once again.
Moving that pile, and what's great about when you get into that kind of tussle is to watch how the pile moves, and you get an idea of where the momentum is. Neither of these sides are small guys, you know, they're both big on defensive and offensive line, but at the moment the pile's being moved with a bunch of gold behind it.
To Cody on the carry there as man in gold goes down. There he is. To Cody, just steps one way back to his right and then just finds the seam and powers through for that Nottingham first down.
So strong, and here they all pile in to keep that pile moving, but to Cody with another 3-4 yards after contact.
It's Finley Old on the ground for the University of Nottingham, and again, like you say, University of Nottingham come out at the start of this 3rd period really determined and with a good solid game plan. Here's that run again.
Yeah, just watch the Cody's cut, initially going to the right-hand side and then sees the gap. There's the initial contact, and then 5 yards before he's contacted again on the spin, and it takes 3 bullets to get him down.
So whilst we've got this brief break in play, we have had 2 fantastic games this evening. The first one was between the SGS Pride and the Newcastle Raiders in the trophy final. Both those teams already promoted to the Premiership to face the likes of the University of Nottingham and the UWE Bullets next year. The Pride ran out 21-8 victors in that trophy final, which was a lovely prelude to this championship game, the Premiership final. American football for the first time being included in the BUCS Big Wednesday event. And we know it is a Tuesday, do not worry about that, but tomorrow there will be a plethora of events taking place here at the University of Nottingham on BUCS Big Wednesday. So here we go, back to live action from the David Ross Sports Village as Greaves on first and goal hands the ball off to Takodi, and Takodi turns the corner on the right hand side.
That's a beautiful tackle there on the edge by number 4, who is George Rhymes, who cuts Takodi down before he has an opportunity to cut back inside, doing exactly what you should do from that corner position, which is to come up and set that secondary force or that edge to force the runner back inside. At the same time, manages to get enough of him to bring him down. Second and goal from about the 6-yard line. Our viewpoint here, we're up on the balcony at where you can see the back corner there, where our view is obscured a little bit as Greaves hands the ball off again to the right hand side, and Takodi cuts, and he's going to be short once again. Good lateral pursuit as we've seen all game, and the pickup of absolutely nothing. Yeah, they were finding the edge earlier in this series through the jet sweeps, but they're not getting them now. If you watch now, they watch Peavy come up from number 7 from his cornerback position and just chop everything back, force everything back inside, and that's that inside pursuit, that inside out pursuit can then get the runner down. So they're having no luck to the short side of the field. It's twice they've tried that. Time to try something else on third down.
So it is at third and goal, and it's a similar story to the first half. Nottingham knock on the door, and that big defensive wall in black and red of the Bullets saying, no, you will not break us down, as Greaves hands up the middle. No, he doesn't, he fakes, and the ball is intercepted, and it's a chase on now, and it's Takodi who makes the play at midfield as Greaves is intercepted again, knocking on the door, but the University of Nottingham come up empty.
Abassi read that absolutely to perfection and has turned the tide on this. That is the third interception that the Gold have thrown close in their own red zone. If you watch number 8 on this play, he knows where this play is going. It's a flea flick. We'll see if we can get it. We'll run it up now. So 31 coming in motion. Okay, so we need to go back to the live action. We'll try and come back, but Abassi was in the perfect position to make that play. You can hear the boos now as these players trying to get this crowd back into this game, this tight 1-point game. UWE defense defending their 1-point lead.
And the big story, Cole, no Nia Mugabe at quarterback, but maybe they don't need him because number 21, that man Drew Carson, carries the load on first down and picks up another first down.
Here's the replay on the interception. Let's just have a look here what happens. So it's a keep by Josh, and then he just loses the football trying to get it, and Abassi is right there in the perfect position to pick up the interception and uses that speed to drive down the field. Now, as Nia Mugabe,
illegal snap on number 53 of the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Off the field, or has he just... No, he's definitely off the field, isn't he? This is a new quarterback in. I was wondering whether Nia Mugabe had changed shirt, but I don't think he has, and we don't know who number 10 is. So the mystery quarterback that's come in.
I've asked our production manager if they can try and find out that information for us, because it's a critical role as the ball's handed off once again on a jet sweep to number 25, who finds a room off right tackle and then is pummeled to the ground, but not until he's picked up a Bullets first down. Jack Crawford on the carry that time.
Yeah, Jack Crawford just showing his skill, speed, and you have to give it credit to this offensive line. They're really playing a great game and creating some holes now for these running backs, given that we don't have Nia Magabo on the field.
And that is a big blow if it is injury related. We'll try and bring you news when we can. Once again, third straight handoff, this time straight up the middle. And the Gold defensive line gives up a few, but doesn't break this time. It's going to be 2nd and 7.
They're having to rely on this running game now to compensate for the fact that they don't have the armour maybe that Nia Magabo gives them. But let's see what this quarterback can do in his own right. They're still running the same sequence of plays. It's still the read options that the quarterback's getting a read off defensive end. But at the moment, he's still handing the ball rather than keeping it himself.
And you'd think that would make the Bullets a little more one-dimensional. But again, Nottingham can't sort of take their eye off that threat of the pass because it's an unknown almost. High snap, handed off once again, and that's well defended. Well, I say well defended. He's met by 2 or 3 Gold jerseys, but then manages to keep his momentum and fall forward, does Sam Jenkins.
And that's what good athletes do, isn't it? Even if you're met at that line of scrimmage, just sheer tenacity, will and talent is going to take you a little bit further.
So here we go then. The Bullets with a big 4th down now. 4th and 2. 4th and 2 for the Bullets. Interesting, you'd think this was handed off, and this time it's a design QB keeper, and he finds a gap through the middle, and he's got a 1st down for the Bullets inside the 10-yard line.
Great call on 4th down. We hadn't seen the quarterback run, so your eyes aren't on him as a defender. You're looking immediately to the running back, but it is, like you say, that QB follow. Just follow that running back through the hole and gets the necessary yardage that he needs. So that will build his confidence, his backup QB that's come on. We're looking for a name for him now.
Momentum definitely on the black and red side of the field at the moment. 1st down, ball on a jet sweep once again, and this time great pursuit. Fantastic pursuit by the Nottingham defence. It looks like, is there a flag? No flag. It looked like it could have been a potential face mask.
Yeah, not from the defender, I didn't think. It was number 2 who made the tackle, and he did a really good job, Henry Scanlon, from his Mike linebacker position.
We can see on the screen there that Nia Magabo is still dressed, still in kit, but obviously not being utilised for whatever reason at the moment. High snap once again, ball handed off, and this time it's Jenkins looking for the corner, and short of the end zone.
Yeah, he is short. So close here. But Nottingham really do need to make a stand here and see whether they can. I think it's going to be. Is it going to be 2nd down now, or is that a first? Is that a new set of downs? Anyway, trying to get in from the 1 now. Inches to go.
And that looks like. Oh no, flag! It looks like the play's been blown dead. Play has been blown dead.
Prior to the snap, full start of the offense. Not all players were set for 1 second. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So all the players not set for that full 1 second. So it ends up, it's 3rd down. 3rd and goal it remains. And I tell you what, this is almost like sucker punch. Nottingham were really confident. They were all the way down the other end. Then Greaves throws that pick. And then the last 5 or 6 plays have just been bang, bang, bang. And Nottingham find themselves desperately clinging on as the runner goes to the middle, into the end zone. Touchdown, Bullets.
That's how to hit a hole at high speed. I mean, that was full speed in 2 steps. That runner there, number 21, who was Drew Carson, who just blasted through that left-hand side, and a beautiful hole there off that B gap, it looked like, that the offensive line created.
Very much running back by committee for the Bullets, with Sam Jenkins, Drew Carson, Jack Crawford.
Here's the replay, and you can see that B gap there, just the fullback just opening up a huge hole map for Drew Carson to go through, and he went through at speed.
So as I mentioned, there is that replay again from a slightly different angle. Bang! Hard to stop, and somebody with that much power and that much speed coming from 4 or 5 yards away from the goal line. Like I say though, Carl, running back by committee, Sam Jenkins, Drew Carson, Jax Crawford, who technically is a receiver who's been doing a lot of jet sweeps. And you know that the Bullets will be going for 2 to try and extend their lead to 16-7, which would be a real significant lead as well, Carl.
It would indeed. It would give them a two score advantage.
So here we go. Let's see whether the Bullets can convert again. This is a QB keeper, and he's got the edge. But a fantastic tackle by the Gold, and he's short, so that keeps it a 1-score game and keeps this one really interesting.
So we have two, it's either Isaac Foster or Mickey Fisher coming in to make that tackle, number 39, and there was assistance there as well from number 25. Let's see if we can get a number here, and that I believe is number 25, and then Mickey Fisher coming in to clear it up, our very own NTU's Mickey Fisher, making a great play there, and number 25 for the defence as well, who is Aaron Young from his free safety spot.
Here's the conversion attempt again from a different angle. Good tackle there and good follow-up, like you say, 25 and 39 in fact.
Yeah, Mickey Fisher on 39.
So it keeps it a 1-score game. But we talked about that momentum earlier on, Carl, and completely taken away from Nottingham at one point, as they looked like they were going to punch it in again. They had 1st and goal once again. Special teams shy of a player, so now Nottingham up to full capacity as the ball is kicked. It's a line drive, and it's fielded, and it's going to be returned. And it's to Cody, I believe, on the return duty.
And you have to think now, what can UON do to get back into this game? And how big was that interception from Abassi to stop that initial 3rd quarter drive? Plenty of time left, but Nottingham finding it difficult to get into the end zone.
So this is the interception then,
Let's
Cole.
watch the interception that did shut down that play, and you can see it's just a hit from that defender and Abassi off to the races, and it was Cody that had to drag him down, the quick running back that managed to save the touchdown.
You could argue that Greaves shouldn't really have thrown that, but I mean it's hard with the bang speed of the play.
It's hard when you've got a man's helmet in your armpit.
It is, and he's already got another man straight in his rib cage on this play. 1st sack of the game for the Bullets, and they now begin to pile the pressure on. Greaves slow to get up.
Great pressure now as these defenders now, and you can feel, didn't we? We talked about momentum, we talked about how important that was. This crowd now is out of it. They're hardly making any noise at all. And, you know, the defenders now of UWE are sniffing victory, and that really motivates a defence to just pin their ears back and get after a quarterback.
The O-line for the first time tonight right there looked confused. There were assignments missed. You can see that front, it was up there again. Ball handed off, and no, Greaves has still got it. And he puts up a prayer, and that's going to be intercepted. And it's the man we've been calling all night, Brian Peavy, with another interception. And he's up close to the 20-yard line, and the Gold are in trouble.
Josh Greaves, I felt like that was a bit of panic from Josh Greaves for the first time. We've not seen him unpoised, but he's been hit. He's been hit on the pick. He's been hit again, and he rolls out to his right, and I just feel like he's lost his poise, a little bit of confidence in this game, and he throws another interception. That's now 3 picks that Josh Greaves has thrown, and so we'll see how that goes. And it's that man again, Brian Peavy, who's just had a spectacular game. Here's the replay. So you can see Josh with a bit of a mix-up in the backfield, running back going the wrong way, decides to just haul it up, and you can see that Peavy's in a much better position than the receiver, and then Peavy's like, okay, I'll just direct traffic, I'll jump over this one, I'll go down the sideline, I'll just step out here. You know, such a tremendous athlete, nice and calm down the sideline.
And I hate to say it, Carl, but the difference between that throw and Greaves' other throws this evening, that was off the back foot. And you know what happens if you're going to launch a ball deep off the back foot. It's going to float on you.
It's the quarterback coach is back again.
It's true. It's these little mechanics and these little...
I'm sure there's a job somewhere for you.
I'd love to be. I've told you before, I'd love to get back into coaching, and when my two boys are old enough and they're doing their own thing, as long as I'm still with us, I will get back in there somewhere. So anyway, they're on the ropes, aren't they now, Carl? University of Nottingham on the ropes, need a huge stop here, and we've got information that the quarterback for the UW Bullets, number 10, is Theo Landers, a Canadian. We still don't have any information on what happened to Nyamagabu.
I'm wondering whether it was a concussion in Q2, and that's why he's not returned. It's concussion protocol, but that's just complete speculation, folks.
It is, as Landers fakes the jet sweep, then hands off up the middle, and a positive pickup on first down, and now you think the Bullets are going to be looking to see if they can chew some clock whilst putting another score on the board, because if they can, you think that Nottingham are close to the end.
Theo Landers doing a great job so far. You know, he's been tested in terms of his running ability, not really been tested in terms of his throwing ability as yet, but certainly has come through on the QB follows and the run options. He's running the offense really well.
So Landers again, hands off, and that's up the middle is Sam Jenkins, more positive yardage. And you can see the University of Nottingham defence now not necessarily respecting the pass as much. They are cheating to the line of scrimmage, but the offensive line of the Bullets is dominating.
Yeah, it's beginning to go that way, and if UWE score here, it could quickly get out of hand, which is what a lot of people predicted.
And there's Jenkins again, bounces off one man, and it's going to be close to a Bullets first down, and you'd think even at this stage they'd be going for it on fourth and maybe 1-2, trying to look from my position where that down and distance marker is. It's going to be 4th and 2 from what I can gather. So this could be the ball game right here. 4th and 2 this early on, still in the third quarter, could be pivotal for Nottingham's title hopes.
UON need a stop right here. This could be the big momentum shifter that they need. Oh, they're going to call. They've given them a first down.
They have given them a first down. You're quite right. So let's have a look. A little stoppage in play now. We're wondering whether that's the end of the third quarter. Well, it looks like it is, the way that the teams are changing end. So the end of the third quarter here at the Big BUCS Wednesday.
It's the end of the third quarter.
Premiership Championship Final between the University of Nottingham Gold and the UWE Bullets sees the team in black and red holding a one-score advantage, but knocking on the door again, Carl. Is there still life in this one for the Gold?
There is, because it's a one-score game. So, yeah, of course there's life. It's a very, very close game. You feel like the momentum's shifted so far UWE's way, and every time UON have got close to that end zone, they've got picked because, you know, essentially the field gets compressed. But you would expect, I think, for UON to mount another drive in this Q4 and be close again to the end zone, and we'll see this time whether they can punch it in. They can't keep relying on old faithful defensive tackle Jack Brennan to get them touchdowns. They're going to have to do something with these other star athletes that they've got.
Well, you know, if the Bullets do manage to punch in another score here, then it's going to change the game plan for Jason Scott significantly, because 2 scores down is a tough ask, as Landers goes on a QB designed run but doesn't pick up a great deal there at all. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
I don't know whether we'll get to see a replay here, but if we do, you'll get to see what a pancake block looks like from one of the UWE linemen on a poor, hapless UON Gold player. If you watch the middle of your screen here, off the ball action, watch the middle of your screen there, you'll see it there, and just drive him to the turf. Anyway, back to the live action.
Back live, Landers fired a pass, his first attempt of the evening, out to the right-hand side. Trying to hit a receiver on an out pattern, but he just overthrew that one. Had some good velocity on the ball.
So 2 plays now that UON have made good defensive plays. On first down, they stop them for a yard, and that one was incomplete. So it will bring up 3rd and long on this as we get back to this live action, Matt.
Landers,
3rd and 10.
Landers again hands the ball off. On the middle, there's a huge seam on the middle, and that's going to be a Bullets touchdown. And that has made the mountain for the University of Nottingham to climb all the more steep as we begin the 4th period.
And it's the same play that they scored on the other end of the field. It's just they put a fullback there on the just behind that offensive line, and they just hit the B gap with Landers running as hard as he possibly can. Sorry, not Landers. It was the running back there taking that one in at speed. Drew Carson, I believe.
And as we know, the Bullets never kick extra points. Looking to add a further 2. Score is currently 20-7. And I don't think that's going to convert. So it remains a 2-score game. University of Nottingham 7, the UWE Bullets 20.
Let's have a look at this touchdown again. Oh, this is from a previous play. Let's watch the touchdown here. So yeah, it's just that handoff to number 21 through that B gap following that fullback, and they just do such a good job on the offensive line in creating enough of a gap for Drew Carson to exploit. And when you're also, you can see 47 there having to honour the fact that the quarterback may retain the ball and run around the end, and that takes a possible defender out of the play. That's why the run option is such a powerful and effective play call.
So here we go then. It's now or never for the University of Nottingham. You feel they need to score on this drive and score quickly, because you can imagine when the Bullets get this ball back, they'll just be chewing clock as much as they can. Utilising that already effective run game, wearing down the defensive fronts of the green and gold.
I have to feel like UON will have something up their sleeve for this situation. I can't believe Jason Scott's not going to have come into this game without practicing the scenario of being down by 2 scores.
So, switch, and he's got a big return, and he makes the last man miss, and he's up to midfield, and he makes the defender miss, and he's at the 20, the 10, and it's a touchdown! University of Nottingham, no flags! 85 yards to the house!
Woohoo! This crowd's just come alive. There you go. Well, I said, what was the scenario? Well, just run the kick return back 85 yards for the touchdown. Nottingham roar right back into this game.
I'm still looking on the field because I can't believe in a play of that length, with that many bodies flying around, one official hasn't deemed it appropriate to throw a flag given the history of this game. But no, the only thing yellow on the field are the 11 jerseys with the white helmets and the gold pants.
Let's have a look at the replay here. It takes the ball really
on the kick,
well.
There was an illegal formation by the
but this time
team.
They actually give
that
it to 83, and then it's all 83. One man to beat now. The kicker cuts back inside, and the kicker doesn't have a chance at the 20, at the 10, and there he is. No one can catch him. Number 83, Elias Sawyers, to the house.
And to be fair, we've called his name all night for being a really great piece of this UWE outfit, but Rivera there, the last man, couldn't stop that step of Sawyers, and once again, just like that, we've got a 6-point ball game, Carl.
Yeah, and that extra point from Nottingham is really important, that they kicked that, because now they can win with a touchdown and an extra point. But the other thing to note is how effective Nottingham have been in defending the 2-point tries that UWE have tried to get in, because they would be 24-14 if they had not defended those so well. So every play counts, and Nottingham right back in this one.
If you're going to talk about missed opportunities and points on the board, though, 2 missed field goals by the University of Nottingham, this could be a tied game, Carl. Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
You're absolutely right, Matt.
It's nothing more than this game deserved, though, is it? I mean, a big play like that. We've seen big receptions. We've seen fantastic runs. We've seen, we've just seen talent, speed, size, power, aggression, and just everything. And then to top it all off with an 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown to keep this one alive. Has momentum switched? Well, if the University of Nottingham can get the offense of the Bullets off the field quickly on this possession, who knows? It is already 20 past 10 here at the David Ross Sports Village. Could we go deeper into the night? Kick is up, and it's a line drive, and that's going to bounce and go through the end zone. Rivera leaves that ball. Peavy jogs off alongside his teammate, and it'll be a touchback. And the Bullets will start 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line.
So we've got a fair chunk of the fourth quarter still to go in this one, a one-score game. But University of Nottingham have to get a stop here. Now, we know that starting quarterback. It doesn't look like he's going to be returning Neo Mugabu. But we do have our new quarterback, Theo Landis, who's playing very well. But he's not been in a position where he's been really put under pressure. So let's see if the UON defense can put this quarterback under some pressure here. Hang on a minute. I see a number 2 jersey on the field.
I am with you, Carl. My eyes do not deceive me. Nyamagabu is back when it matters the most, and it's a jet sweep on 1st down, and that's great pursuit from Nottingham, and he tries to elude the tackle, and he can't. And that's number 93 for the gold and green. Number 93 is Chris Baby.
A beautiful edge play by the gold on that one to track that down and either bubble him to the sideline or just tackle him for a loss, which is exactly what happens.
2nd and 12 upcoming, and this time a run up the middle, and that's a huge run again. And he's still on his feet, and he's got a Bullets 1st down close to the 40-yard line, and the pile gets pushed once again. And I tell you, Carl, this sport, you're up, you're down, you're up, you're down. You just don't know where you stand until that final whistle blows. And the tenacity of both these teams is something to be admired.
Jason Scott will not be happy because he's a defensive-minded coach. He's also a linebacker coach. And to allow these runs to rip through the heart of your defense like that, it's not something which a defensive coordinator likes. You know, you want to stop the middle runs because they're the simplest plays to run between the tackles. So let's see what this UON defense can do to stop these middle runs.
Now Mugabu keeps it this time. He tries to find the edge, but he can't. Great form tackle by number 5 this time for Nottingham. That's Jack Mayfield.
I don't know why you would keep the ball if you're having such success between the tackles. But so not the best decision by Nia Mugabu.
I would love to know what the thought process was for Neil Mugabu to miss that middle portion of the game.
Well, I was thinking it was a concussion, but it clearly wasn't because he's back on the field.
2nd and a long 7 for the Bullets. Maybe even 8. May not matter. Ball once again up the middle this time. And look, there doesn't seem to be any yellow jerseys there, as Jenkins picks up another 1st down. But there is a flag. We've not seen a flag for a while.
Again, UWE Bullets just ripping holes through the very heart of the UON defence. But maybe this is a hold and maybe this one's coming back.
We'll just watch the way that the players walk. If the black jerseys go towards their own goal line, it's against the Bullets, which it appears to be. Here's our referee.
Personal foul. Legal chop block by the offense. That's a 15-yard penalty. We play 2nd down.
That is a big call. Explain what a chop block is, Carl.
It's an illegal block where you have one player going high, one player going low, and you can't do that on the same player. It was outlawed just for safety reasons, and it means that you keep players safe at that line of scrimmage. It's not just quarterbacks and offensive players that have to be kept safe, it's everybody.
So 2nd and 25, they try the same play again, and this time Nottingham are wise to it. And big number 98, Arlo Kopp, brings down the runner after a pickup of about 2. It's going to be 3rd down and 18.
So UON hold firm. They obviously can't go to the middle of the field on this one. They can't just hand the ball off up the middle. So let's see what magic Nia Mugabu's got.
And he does drop back to pass, and he's looking, he's going up top. He's got a man out there. Oh, off the fingertips of the intended receiver. No flags on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down, and it's the first stop that the men in green and gold have had for a while, and momentum could be shifting back the way of the home side.
It was Marlon McGeechee in the coverage. He had good coverage, but I tell you what, that ball was definitely catchable, and it's such a beautifully lofted pass. You have to feel that Niagaba will feel let down on this play. You're watching the bottom of your screen now. 42 does a little bit of contact there. Here comes the football. And I don't know, that's close to being a catchable ball. Back to the live action.
The punt is close to being blocked, and as a result, the punt is rushed, but it takes a big Bullets bounce. A big Bullets bounce. And the University of Nottingham will take over, having stopped that black and red machine. It's first down Nottingham on their 26-yard line. Carl, what a fourth quarter.
You can see how important that kick return was for the touchdown, because again, the momentum's back with UON. You know, the crowd are back in the game, and everyone now poised to see what's going to happen in the rest of this game. Can UON mount another successful drive, or will this tough and ball-hawking UWE Bullets defence, with those two tough safeties back there, number 7 and number 8, PV and Abassi, make a play?
You've got to wonder what's going on in Greaves' mind. His last 2 pass attempts have been interceptions, but this one finds its way into the hands of one of his own receivers, who picks up positive yardage, and I think a flag's come out there late. And there's another flag, and there's a man in gold on the floor, so you'd think that second flag would possibly be against the Bullets for unsportsmanlike conduct. Let's see what the first flag's for.
There was a small period of that game where we didn't have any flags.
So we just wait for the officials' decision as they have their conflab. Could be big either way, but it's the Bullets that seem to be marching backwards once again. Here's our referee.
After the play was over, personal, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, on the defense. That'll be 15 yards, first down.
So, Carl, how this game has swung since being 20-6 ahead. The last 5 minutes of real time. Let's see if we can see this unsportsmanlike contact foul. So watch here, number 12. Oh, I tell you, I think he's milked that a little bit, don't you?
Milked it. Good job as a maid on that one.
Anyway,
that was incredible.
Sorry, Greaves back to the air. He's got a man, and that's going to be incomplete. That is ruled. Let's have a look. It's ruled a catch, I believe. It has, sliding down. Ball low from Greaves. I think Greaves needs to lift his confidence a little, but the last 2 completions will help do that. So it's second and a yard, if that, for the gold and green. And they're in business again, but they've been here before, Carl. They've moved the ball between the 20s effectively before and not been able to hit pay dirt when it matters.
And it's those 2 safeties, it's 3 players, it's Rivera, Peavy and Abassi that have been making plays as this pitch gets squeezed.
How well does Greaves do there? You credit where credit's due. Greaves always looked like he was wrapped up, and then manages to keep his eyes downfield and step out of the potential sack and hit Adewale for another pickup and a big Nottingham first down. Fair play, Joshua Greaves.
Adewale does really well there on that play to stay on his feet. George Rhymes has to come in to drag him down. So UON with the 1st and 10, giving everything they've got.
In comes Ryan Taylor, who will drop into the slot position on this left-hand side. Greaves, 2 receivers either side. Goes to the air again. Got to be wise with the football, and he goes over the middle. It's intercepted once again, and that's Peavy. That man, Peavy again. What a night! Oh, and disappointment.
Now let me just talk you through what causes this interception. You watch on the replay the pressure from that defensive line of UWE, because Joshua Greaves gets absolutely smashed. Watch right there by 77, the big nose tackle, and that's what causes the interception. And so whilst Peavy has had a great game, they've been playing the ball great at both ends. So that's big number 77. We'll try and get a name for him. I think it was 77. Let's have a look again, see if we can get the number. There's the hit. We don't have a shirt. We don't have a name for that shirt number, which is disappointing. But Peavy again, right there in that place, in that safety spot to make the pick.
Peavy putting a case together for MVP with his 3rd pick of the night. As there's a flag on that first play on the run from Niamagabu. And where it's positioned again could be holding against the Bullets, and they could be marching back once more.
So 4 interceptions from Joshua Greaves.
Holding on the offense, number 57. 10 yards,
game.
previous spot, first down.
And as we approach the end of the game, we do need to start thinking about... Apologies, Mr. Referee. Before the end of the game, Carl, we do need to start thinking about that MVP decision. And at the moment, as I say, Peavy making a good case for it.
I think it. You know, I'd love to see a defensive MVP in the championship game, and I do think UWE Bullets have been fantastic. And it's difficult to choose between Abassi and Peavy right now.
This time, the Nottingham defence swarmed to the ball carrier. He picks up a yard or so. That's going to bring up 2nd and 15 after the initial penalty on first down. So yeah, call it 2nd and 15. So Niamagabu just trying to eat some clock, keep the ball away. He's going to the air this time. There's a bit of pressure coming up the middle as he rolls to his right, his left rather, and puts the ball up. And that one's intercepted! What a diving pick that is! Number 25, take a bow, Aaron Young. Wow!
Wow! Aaron Young went absolutely horizontal for what seemed like about 15 feet through the air to pick that one off. And that's sensational. And what was Niamagabu thinking on this play? Rolls out and there's no one around.
That penalty is declined.
I mean, there's no one within 10 yards. That is a spectacular interception. Don't let your offensive coordinator see that one, otherwise he'll be having you for offense. Who says DBs can't catch?
Oh, that's what we've seen, some phenomenal DB play all day long in the trophy game. There was an over-the-shoulder interception by one of the Pride defenders. And now that from Aaron Young, highlight material. But look again, look at that position. I don't want... Maybe I should take a quarterback coach in position up somewhere, because that, as a quarterback, you can't be...
Well, even I could tell you that wasn't going anywhere. But I think it was Niamagabu just trying to do too much.
Yeah.
And you don't need to. You're 6 points ahead.
Now, can Joshua Greaves find some composure, because he's going to be asked to drop back and pass. He puts the ball out, and that's in and out of the hands of big number 80 Jatori Reed, and 2nd and 10 upcoming. You kind of think you're only going to get so many opportunities, Cole.
This is it, but it is so difficult for UON with those 2 safeties sat back there just waiting for the opportunity. Here's that interception again. You can see off his back foot in the midair, and there's just no UWE player within 10 yards of that ball.
2nd and 10, Greaves and the Nottingham offence. The time is ticking away on this championship final as pressure comes again, and he puts one up the middle, and he's got a man, and the reception is made, and he stays on his feet, wraps the ball up with 5 bullets around him. Is number 13, Finley Old.
Finley Old, the old veteran's been around for a number of years now, and he's old by name but not old by nature. He manages to pull in an absolutely critical play to keep UON in this game. Let's have a look now.
I think
Joshua Green throwing to his left-hand side, and again it's that just picking the point in the zone where there is that gap.
And fair play to Joshua Greaves. 4 picks he's thrown, and he still has the short memory, if you like, to be able to go to the air when it matters. Bunch formation now, and now this one's blown dead, which is more than likely going to be a penalty on the offence to make the University of Nottingham's job just that little bit trickier.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, number 33. 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
And that's Faith Takode, guilty of moving early. So what a finish this guy. To be honest, Carl, it's been like this all game long, hasn't it? Just big plays all over the park.
Yeah, it's been fantastic, and we've seen some spectacular plays. What more has this game got to offer?
Well, we're about to find out on 1st and 15. There's a little sweep, and that's blown up in the backfield. It's number 11 for the Bullets. Billy Elliott, no less.
Tell you what, Billy Elliott coming in there, and I tell you what, that could have been far, far worse, because it looked like Billy Elliott. I mean, the quarterback was throwing the ball at Billy Elliott at one point. If you look at this on the replay, he was so quick off that line of scrimmage. He was all over that at the same time that the running back was.
To be honest, though, you'd expect somebody with a name like that to have fast feet. And it showed there. So now the job becomes even more difficult on a 2nd and 20-ish for Greaves. And he's going to have to drop back, and there's pressure up the middle in his face again. And they've brought it out to the far side, and the pass is made, but then a great tackle immediately on the reception. It's going to pick up maybe 2 yards, if that, which will bring up 3rd and long. Here we go. Here's that Billy Elliott play.
If you watch number 11 off the edge here, you'll just see that there. Look, he's right there, almost on the play before the running back even has a chance. They could have been far worse than it was, but Billy Elliott, as you say, with his dancing feet, makes a great play.
So 3rd down it is, and this, you have to feel, is Nottingham's last 2 opportunities in this game. 3rd down, looking like 17 to go. Can get a 1st down without scoring. What's Josh Greaves got in his locker? Pressure up the middle, the ball's up top, he's got a man in the corner, and it's caught! No flags! Touchdown! University of Nottingham! That's number 88, we've called his name already, Kelvin Alotti, to level things up here at the David Ross Sports Village. What a pass by Joshua Greaves, thrown 4 interceptions and still has the confidence to go over the top, back corner fade, touchdown Nottingham. Wow.
They tried it earlier in the game and it wasn't successful. You'll remember, here's the replay. You don't throw the ball over the middle of the field. Why not? Because you have these 2 ball hawking safeties. You have to go to the corner. Watch the break to the corner. Now it's just a straight vertical play, and it's a fantastic over-the-shoulder catch.
And while you were watching that replay, the extra point has been kicked, and the University of Nottingham take the lead for the first time this evening. UWE Bullets 20, the University of Nottingham 21.
Woo! Now what have you got, Bullets? What have you got now? That's the question. You've smashed everyone coming into this. Coming through this season, you've not even been close. No one has challenged you. What happens when you get punched in the face? Can you come back? This is a real test of character for these UWE Bullets.
They have not conceded a touchdown other than 1 all year long, and they've conceded 3 in this game. 1 against Leeds Carnegie, 3 against the University of Nottingham. They've never been in this position before. They've never been in a game as close as this. The majority of their games have been over before the half-time oranges have even been cut. But now, who wants this more? What a finish we have to this big BUCS Wednesday. University final, Premiership final. The ball will go up into the night sky again. And we've seen 1 return for a touchdown already this evening. Will we see any more fireworks on this one? No, we won't. As that man is stood up on about the 23-yard line. Now then, is it going to be Nayama Garbu, who is the hero for the Bullets? Or can the gold and green stand firm? As soon as we get any time check left, we will bring it to you. We're not quite sure how long's left, but there can't be a great deal of time.
These Bullets, they certainly have the talent. They certainly have the skills. They have the capability. They have the players. Do they have the character now to make all that count when it really matters? The end of a championship final. Here we go.
And they start off with a keeper, and the Amagabu has gone round the left-hand side, and they do that very well, and importantly, he picks up good positive yardage and stops the clock by going out of bounds. Once upon a time, the Bullets were chewing clock. Now they're trying to save clock. Remember, all they need is a field goal if they're in that frame of mind. Not sure that's ever been the case for them before. Ideally, they'd want to get into the end zone. 2nd and 4 upcoming. Run for the 1st down, and it's Jenkins once again. Sam Jenkins, a big first down for the Bullets.
And clever by the Bullets, because the UON expecting pass, but you know, it's the heart of that defence right in between the tackles that's really been the Achilles heel of this UON goal defence tonight.
Stay with us at the end of this one. We'll have the trophy presentation for you. We'll have interviews with the MVP and with the winning head coach. As on first down, the Bullets continue to charge up the middle for a pickup of 6. And there's injuries now. People giving everything out there. Number 2 for the University of Nottingham, Henry Scanlon's slow to get up. What a battle this has been, Carl Walkinshaw.
It's been epic, and it's been everything that I'd hoped it was going to be before, you know, coming down here and spending this time doing the commentary on the game. I'm just so pleased that it turned out to be this ding-dong battle that we've got. We hope you're still with us. We know it started late, but boy, has it been worth it.
So second and a long 5, nearly 6 for the Bullets. You think you know what's coming, and there it is again, and there's that hole again, and he breaks the first tackle, and he breaks the second tackle, and stays on his feet and breaks the third, and it takes 3 Nottingham defenders to bring down Drew Carson.
Drew Carson has had a hell of a game. He's run those couple of touchdowns. He's now just carving up and slicing through the middle of this University of Nottingham defence. And you wouldn't have expected that necessarily come into this game. We knew they had a good running attack, but I didn't know it was just this effective, especially towards on a last drive like this.
And there's another man down on the near side where we are, the far side as you look. Here's that last run, Cole.
Yeah, look at the blocking, and just there's nowhere for these UON defenders really to get off that initial block, and he's up onto that second and third level, and then it's the safeties in the corners having to rally to bring him down back to the live action.
It seems like there are 3 or 4 more black jerseys out there than there are gold at the moment, but it's first down. And now the green and gold getting nervous as Nyamagabu keeps the football, and he's spinning once, spinning twice, and is dragged down after a pickup of 4 or 5 by Will Maloney. Second and 5, Bullets, and it's gone awfully quiet here in the Nottingham gallery.
I'll tell you what, I know they've got a player called Billy Elliott, but I've never seen so many pirouettes on a play before. I mean, he's just inside pirouetting, spinning. The only danger with that is that the ball can come loose if you get caught.
Nyamagabu direction traffic, design QB run this time to the left hand side, and he could have the edge, and he does, but only for a pickup of a couple. If that, no flags on the play. And that's going to be a timeout.
Now, who's called the timeout on that one, Matt?
This is the 2-minute warning.
It's a 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning at 1:58. 2-minute warning, 1:58.
So, Cole. So that is 2 minutes. We can't take our eyes off this one. 3rd and 3. In fact, looking at the sticks, it's 3rd and 1. Can the green and gold hold out for 2 more minutes? It's an eternity in football.
Whistles on the play. And no timeout called this time.
So time out, Bullets, at this pivotal moment.
Timeout has been called by UWE. That is their first timeout of the half. 1:58 remaining. 1:58.
So there we go, the Bullets with a timeout. Oh God, I cannot believe it's come down to a 1-point decision at the moment. It feels like something else big is going to happen before the end of this one. So here we go, as the Bullets take the field once again. Defensive-minded Jason Scott has got to dig deep now. The Bullets only about 16 yards away from the end zone, and a historic Premiership final victory. The University of Nottingham 2 minutes away from their own title dreams. You almost don't want either of these teams to lose, but unfortunately there has to be a winner. But credit to both teams. Ball is up the middle. It's going to be close to a first down, and I think more than likely, looking at where that official is running out, that's going to be first down, UWE.
Well, they took the timeout. I believe, well, it was a 2-minute timeout, wasn't it? Is that going to be close enough for that first down? And it will be. So they're going to get a new set of downs now. Are these UWE Bullets to see whether they can get it in?
It is
it's
first
a
down.
1-point game.
Nyamagabu stopped in the backfield. So that was a great effort by that defensive front for the University of Nottingham.
They're crowding the box now. They're bringing Will Maloney up, number 40, into the box. So they have 8 in the box, and they've got now ball hawking safeties looking to fill those gaps for these runners to shut down this inside run. But that leaves them vulnerable at the back.
There is no Nottingham defender any further away from the line of scrimmage than 7 or 8 yards, committing to stopping Nyamagabu in the run. And there it is on his sweep around the edge. Can they get the corner? He can't quite turn the corner. That's number 25, Jax Crawford, on the carry.
So it's going to bring up third down, and it's going to force Nyamagabu to make a play, either with his feet, but you would expect shotgun pass, and he's not had the success that he was having in the first half.
Have we seen UWE attempt a field goal this season at all? Will they elect to do that if it gets to fourth down? Oh, and it may well get to fourth down. And that is going to be fourth down now. Big decision here for the Bullets. Kick the field goal, commit to your run.
Well, I think you're right, and it's that thing all season long. They've gone for 2, they've gone for 2, they've gone for 2. Do they even have a kicker on their roster? Of course, they probably do. They've got Americans that could probably kick it 60 yards. But the point is, can they do it under pressure in a championship final for the game? That's a different question, and this one we're just about to have answered, Matt.
We couldn't have asked for any more from this BUCS Championship Premiership Final than we've got here. If you're just joining us, where have you been? University of Nottingham 21, UWE Bullets 20, the undefeated Bullets who didn't concede a touchdown all regular season. Here's the replay of that last third down play. And
so critical for them to get the first down here, because they're so reliant on that run game at the moment. They've run all the way down the field, not been a pass in this entire drive, which is smart, but at the same time, where has that passing game gone, and why have they lost so much confidence in it, Matt?
Well, when you've got a passer like we saw Nyamagabu in the first half, flick of the wrist, travelling 30-40 yards, as we have this delay for number 93. That's Chris Baby. Looks like maybe struggling with a little bit of cramp from where we can see there, or they're assessing whether it's a lower leg injury that's a little bit more severe. But you're right, Carl, lots of questions to ask. Where was Nyamagabu during the middle portion of this game? Why have they abandoned the pass? Did the coaches think he was trying to do a bit too much, and as evidenced with that roll out to his left, throw back to his right, and the pick? Just so many questions. Have they got a kicking game? Are they going to run it? Oh, what a way to finish this BUCS season.
And why was Theo Landers swapped in and then taken out? So many questions to ask, because they're all good answers to these questions. We just don't know what they are.
But this is it right here, ladies and gents. This is fourth down. This is 3 yards to go. It could be glory for the Bullets. It could be glory for the men in gold. Who's your money on? Who wants it more? Nyamagabu with Sam Jenkins to his left. There's no question about kicking. They're going for the win. Remember, they can get a first down without scoring. Have the University. Oh, and that's going to be encroachment, I would have thought, against the defense, which would be an automatic first down. You'd have thought if it was a false start, they'd have blown the play dead. But the fact that play was allowed to carry on would suggest it's going to be against the University of Nottingham, but we will see. Oh, wow. I tell you what, brave call to try and make that defense jump, and it looked like it worked.
Just waiting for this call from the referees. This is a critical one, obviously, for them and for this crew. This is a game-changing call from this refereeing crew right here, so they want to get it right. They're going to double check.
Here we go.
Triple check.
Offsides on the defense. That penalty will be half the distance. That penalty results in a first down. 55
First
seconds
and goal
remaining.
from about the 3-yard line then. Oh, and another. Oh. I don't think the referee was ready. That play went early. I think the referee was still turning his mic off after making that call. 55 seconds remaining, we heard.
It's going to come down right to the wire.
Ball game on the line. Championship on the line.
It's 10-11, Carl.
It's way past my bedtime.
So here we go, first and goal. Once again for the Bullets. Nyamagabu. Your money's got to be on the Bullets. 4 chances to get him from here. And he's looking to run himself, and he's got the edge, but no, he hasn't. He's slumped to the floor.
Wow.
And that's going to be second and goal.
What an amazing play that was. I mean, that is a tough athlete to bring down. Let's have a look at the replay here. What's number 47 as we get a name for you on that? But look at the way he's tracked down. That is super athletic to be able to get a quarterback of that sort of caliber down. And how frustrating that we don't see
that is our second timeout.
We don't seem to have a name. Yes,
40
we do.
seconds remaining.
Benji
4-0.
Kudugu, and he did a spectacular job on that play.
And it's difficult.
Well done, Benji. That was amazing.
It's difficult, Carl, isn't it? Because you've been carved up the inside so often. You've got to make sure you're solid there, but you've got to keep the outside contained as well for the speed of Nyamagabu round the edge. So second and goal. Move back a little bit on that play. That's 4, 5, 6 yards. Not an issue on any given play for this Bullets offense. Quite possibly the most intriguing, the most breathtaking game I've had the privilege of announcing on. How's it going to end up? We think we know. They're going up the middle, and it's a touchdown, Bullets! A dagger in the hearts of the home team. Oh, there is a flag, however. There is a flag.
Well, I think it's probably going to come after the touchdown was scored, but nevertheless, we'll have to wait and see whether this touchdown is going to stand. So the drama continues right to the end. Let's have a look at the replay quickly while that decision comes in. And again, it's that running game right in the heart. And those defenders will be kicking themselves because they had that running back.
After the play was over,
Drew,
unsportsmanlike conduct.
Carson, bang to
UWE
rights in
number
the backfield.
64.
Watch it here from the line of
That
scrimmage.
15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
So it's excessive celebration on number 64. So the touchdown will stand. The crowd are silent here in University of Nottingham. And the Bullets look like they're going to win this one on a Drew Carson run.
remaining.
And I believe that's his 3rd touchdown, which, again, makes a great case for him to be man of the match.
Does indeed. Going for 2, as they always do. And Nyamagabu looking, using his feet to try and buy time. Fires it in and converts this time. That's 28-21 in favour of the Bullets. Now, the only interesting thing is that excessive celebration penalty marches the kickoff 15 yards further back, which, to be fair then, gives Nottingham a better field advantage on this kickoff. Here's the conversion call.
Yeah, it's a nice play. It's a rollout play. They decide to pass. They've been running all the way down, including the touchdown. But on the 2-pointer, they find that receiver, number 28, free in the backfield. And that was Abel Mampaka that brings that one in.
So, Nottingham have an opportunity. There's only around about 45 seconds remaining, but they have an opportunity, the fact that they should get the ball in decent field position after the excessive celebration penalty. Now, Carl, 7-point game. Should Nottingham score, we go into overtime.
It's a good question, Matt.
I can barely stand. I don't know what I'm moaning about. These players can probably barely move. What a spectacle it's been. What a fantastic advert for this sport that we love so much, Cole. And the standard that we've seen, so impressive.
It has been a tremendous game, exactly as I'd hoped it would be. Very, very close. Two great teams.
So interestingly, flag on the kickoff. And a good return once again. And there's another flag. So we've got a flag on the kickoff, which would suggest an illegal formation, whether one of the players starts running before the kick's made, and then a flag on the tackle. So Nottingham could easily be in business here.
Well, I mean, the tackle from Brian Peavy was right here on the sideline, and I didn't see anything wrong with it. It didn't look like he had his face mask. It didn't look horse collar to me. It looked around his shirt. But referees were right there as well, so we'll see.
And the way the officials talking to the University of Nottingham sideline, they're asking them what they want to do. Here's that replay.
You'll see here the kicker, so kind of low drive kick.
Illegal formation
kick. Number 83
by the
again,
kicking
already
team.
had
Number
that touchdown.
23, that penalty is declined. Personal foul, face mask. Number 7 will add 15 yards for the end of the return. First down.
Wow, so that face mask penalty is just a killer for UWE, because the Gold now get the ball on the 31-yard line, and Josh can throw it in from here. I mean, it's well within his range.
I just wondered if we'd hear the referee give us a time check, but we haven't. So here we go then. The game is still on. The game is still on. Greaves goes back. He's got a man. The man needs to get out of bounds. And Alotti does get out of bounds. Picks up the first down. No, he doesn't. Second down and a yard. So, yeah, 2nd and 2. Such an exciting game. Very rarely do you get such a back and forth affair. And to be fair, those flags have made an impact, but they've been called, I think, 99% of the time correctly. So here comes Greaves again. Not quite as much pressure. Got a man over in the crossing pattern, and that's Old again. Finley Old, number 13. Clock continues to run. It is a first down, so the clock will continue to run, but while they move the chains, it'll stop momentarily.
Yeah, UWE do a really good job tackling him and keeping him in bounds, because I think when Josh Greaves saw that crossing patterns, he's expecting that Finley Old will be able to get to that sideline.
Right, DC, Cole, DC, what are you doing? Are you keeping everything in front of you from a defensive perspective here?
You are, and you're not being dumb enough to let them throw the ball underneath. Josh Greaves.
What a disaster!
Just came out of his hand, didn't it? At a critical time. Josh Greaves just slipped the ball. It is moist, like you said. It's about 11 o'clock here. There is quite a lot of moisture in the air. We don't know whether that affect the ball.
Do you know, if we keep going like this, here's the replay, look.
Just see, he takes the snap, he goes to throw it, it just comes out of his hands. The first time we've seen him miscue with the football like that when he's not been under pressure.
The way we're going, Cole, it is Big BUCS Wednesday on a Tuesday, but this game could very well finish on Wednesday morning.
Maybe that was the plan all along.
You know, if it does, Cole, we'll be putting in for overtime as well.
That would double our rates on that one. That's,
yeah. What's 00?
Exactly.
That is Nottingham's second charge timeout. Second charge timeout with 12 seconds remaining. 12 seconds.
There we go then. 12 seconds, one timeout left. Second down, 2nd and 20. They've probably got, what, 2 shots at the end zone?
If he's quick, he's got 2 shots, yeah, certainly. Anything between the Hashmasters caught.
You've got to burn that final timeout. They've got that final timeout. So here we go. He's got to hold on to the ball first. Pressure coming. The ball's up for grabs. Incomplete.
Yeah, and you can see that pressure coming again. This defensive line have been great the whole game, and it's number 28, I believe, that's coming in with that pressure, Abel Parker.
The bonus there, incomplete pass stops the clock.
Sorry, number 23 was with that. That was Darian Simmons. My apologies.
Incomplete pass stops the clock. They still got a timeout. They can still realistically fire a quick pass to the middle of the field, take the timeout, have 1 shot at the end zone.
Exactly, and that's what maybe they're thinking. They have that timeout. They have had success you know, getting the ball into that zone. Now look at the coverage there. You can see in front of the safeties, behind the linebackers, is there something there that they can exploit?
Pressure coming, Greaves rolls to his right, he's putting the ball up top, he's got a man there! Oh, that's a big call! No interference called. We'll have a little look at our replay if we can to see whether or not there was any. But no interference called, and the ball game is over, and the University of Nottingham fall 21-28 to the UWE Bullets in what has been an absolute spectacular end of season contest. Wow, you couldn't ask for a more thrilling game from start to finish. It looked at one stage that the UWE Bullets were going to run away with things when they went up by a score of 20-7. We then saw an incredible 85-yard kick return by the University of Nottingham. They then held and found a go-ahead touchdown of their own to take a 21-20 lead. And with only a few minutes left, the Bullets dug deep, drove the length of the field behind the legs of Sam Jenkins, of Drew Carson, and of the quarterback Nyamagabo, and managed to punch in the winning score, which sees this final 28-21 decision in favour of the men in red and black. Wow. There are very few games that have kept us on the edge of our seat for so long. So if we have a quick look about all the way from the beginning of the day, first touchdown of the day went to, well, Nottingham on a keeper there from the big D lineman, and Nottingham were in heaven there. If you'd have asked what the odds were of number 28 Jack Brennan taking the ball in, you wouldn't have got very good odds. But then back came Nyamagabo with the opening score for the Bullets, and then from there it was punch after punch exchanged. Josh Greaves tried his best to keep them in the game, but his 4 interceptions proved costly. Great pick up there on the sideline by Adewale, and that was the drive where Nottingham ended up going ahead, what we thought might be for the winning score. There is Adewale contorting his body to make the grab on the sideline, keep his feet in bounds, and then just when you thought Nottingham were going to go in, Greaves had pressure in his face and threw that vital pick. Takardi managed to run down the intercepting player, but the Bullets managed to drive down in very short time and get themselves in the end zone once again. Such a back and forth game, and at this point it was Theo Landers who orchestrated the go-ahead touchdown, as Drew Carson went in for one of his scores of the evening, straight at the middle, hitting the hole with pace. And we just didn't know which way this one was going to go. At that point there was a 2-score advantage, but then a great stop for the extra points to keep that one close, to stop the Bullets going 2 scores ahead. Joshua Greaves again then stepping up in the pocket, taking a sack. And you thought the wheels would come off at this stage for the University of Nottingham, not having any answer for that black and red machine. But they dug deep. Greaves once again trying his best, but this one turned into trouble, and he threw a pick once again, another pick to Peavy. That ball just lofted on Joshua Greaves, and you thought by this stage that the University of Nottingham were dead and buried, but no. Landers on again, another touchdown up the middle for Carson, and that did put the men in black and red 2 scores ahead. Nottingham dug deep, for that go-ahead score by Carson once again. At that point, there were 2 scores in front, and we were deep into the 4th quarter. But then, just like that, as these games often do, when you need something special to happen, quick flea flick reverse, and number 83, Elijah Sawyers, lit up the David Ross Sports Village with his 85-yard kickoff return to pull the University of Nottingham to within 1 touchdown. It was then up to the University of Nottingham to hold, and they did hold, and Jack Greaves stepped up through another interception. And by that time, Brian Peavy's 3rd interception of the evening had the supporters of green and gold really worried. But then, for some reason, Nyamagabo went to the air, threw up a prayer, and an unbelievably athletic interception by number 25, Aaron Young, gave life to the men in gold. And you just wondered whether or not that would ignite a spark and allow the men from Nottingham to get back into it. And indeed, Jack Greaves obliged. Even though he threw 4 interceptions, this one over the middle to Finn Old set up the go-ahead score. Nearly intercepted on that play though from Billy Elliott, making a fantastic play from defensive end. And then Joshua Greaves dug deep, knew that PV and Rivera had patrolled the middle of the field all night long, so went to the corner, threw a dime over the shoulder, and that was a 21-20 go-ahead score with the conversion for the University of Nottingham. And then in the dying moments, an encroachment penalty saw a free play for the Bullets, and although they didn't convert on that one, it wasn't long. You can see it wasn't long before the delay in the inevitable. Nyamagabu held short there, but then the inevitable happened, and in ran Drew Carson for the winning, what proved to be the winning touchdown for the University of West England Bullets. And there we have our final score. UWE Bullets 28, the University of Nottingham Gold 21. What a fitting end to this Brit Ball season we have just witnessed. We're shortly going to go down to the field for the presentation of the Premiership Trophy, and then interviews with the MVP and the winning head coach from those UWE Bullets. If this is your first foray into the sport of American football, you couldn't have had a better one to watch. This had everything. We had running touchdowns, we had passing touchdowns, we had interceptions, we had special teams kick return touchdowns, we had big hits. Just everything. 2 scores down, the University of Nottingham come back to take a 21-20 lead, only to be carved up by that emphatic running game of the Bullets in the dying stages of this final. I only hope, if you are new to this game, that this has whetted your appetite for more. And as we heard from Wayne Hill at half-time, there will be one more Uniball fixture to go, the All-Star game, which will be held in Coventry later on next month. And that'll bring together all the best players from around the country, showcasing their talents in that All-Star event. If you're interested in following the game over the summer, then the BAFA season, the British American Football Association season, will kick off in April. I'm sure there will be a side near you that you can get out and support. If you want to get involved in the game, you don't have to just be a player to get involved. A team sport such as this requires a plethora of volunteers to enable each outfit to run. Whether you're coaching, whether you're on a committee, whether you're helping with kit, whatever it is, there is a role for you to get involved in this fantastic sport that continues to go from strength to strength in the UK, largely on performances of athletes such as we've seen this evening. Congratulations to the University of Nottingham Gold for putting up such a fantastic effort all season long, and in this game this evening. Some thought that they were going to get blown out in this one, but no, they had other ideas, kept strong to the end, showed their mettle, showed their talent, and were worthy runners-up. These two will meet once again, no doubt, in the future, both in the Premiership obviously next season, and on the evidence of this season and the evidence of tonight, we could easily see a rerun of this fixture at this stage of the season next year. So congratulations to coach Jason Scott and the University of Nottingham. Obviously this will sting for a while. Never easy finishing your season on a loss. And there's only truly one team at the end of any season that is truly happy. A team that hasn't lost their final game competitively. And that team this year is the UWE Bullets, a worthy champion, picking up those BUCS gold medals, and there they are, beginning their celebrations before they go to pick up their well-deserved winners' medals. Fantastic scenes here on the field. Commiserations to the University of Nottingham, but you have to give these men in red and black all the credit. They started off really strong, maintained that University of Nottingham attack, which is no mean feat. You think about the difference, points left on the board, 2 missed field goals for the University of Nottingham, 2 or 3 opportunities at first and goal for the University of Nottingham, and those costly interceptions and turnovers ultimately were the difference in this one this evening. Remember, this was at the first event on the Big BUCS Wednesday calendar. We have a huge range of sports taking place here at the David Ross Sports Village tomorrow on Big BUCS Wednesday. So if you've enjoyed what you've seen this evening, then stay tuned in for more university action coming your way tomorrow. We see Theo Landers picking up his medal there. Try and pick out some more of these guys. There's Billy Elliott, number 11. And Toure, who was instrumental on a couple of plays in the secondary. Some fantastic achievements across the board for these Bullets. And one thing's for sure, all these players, coaches, and indeed the crew, and Carl and I will sleep well this evening. It's been a privilege to be able to bring you coverage of this game this evening. You can see the final few players making their way through to collect their gold medals. The quarterback Ivan Nyamagabo congratulating his teammates. Drew Carson there, big smile, and understandably so, on that grill of his, making sure the medal is what it is. Nyamagabu collects his winner's medal and makes his way to join the victorious UWE Bullets. There he is. And you have to say, a totally worthy champion throughout the year, undefeated all the way through the season, undefeated in the playoffs, only conceding 4 touchdowns all year, 3 of them coming in this championship final this evening. They managed to dig deep and find the reserves they needed in order to be crowned the BUCS Premiership champions for 2021-2022.
Show your appreciation for your 2022 BUCS Championship.
And here we go with the trophy presentation from Pete Ackley. Put your hands together for the UWE Bullets, BUCS Premiership Champions 2021-2022. Fantastic scenes here in the heart of Nottingham in what is 11:15 on this crisp spring evening here in Nottingham. A true team performance. Nyamagabo, Drew Carson, Jack Crawford, Sam Jenkins, Billy Elliott, to name but a few. Brian Peavy and Gabriel Rivera patrolling the secondary for crucial turnovers of Joshua Greaves. It will be a bitter pill for the University of Nottingham to swallow, but they should feel very, very proud of their achievements this year. Some didn't give them any chance of even running this one as close as they did, which I think is probably why it means even more to the University of West England Bullets. They've truly earned this game. They know they've been in a match. Maybe the first time they've been in a contest all year long, if they're going to be perfectly honest. Carl Walkinshaw patrolling just behind those cameramen, waiting to grab interviews with the MVP and the head coach. So I hope you've enjoyed this game this evening as much as we have. You'll have noticed the absence of Carl Walkinshaw with me at the moment. He's made his way down pitch side to be able to interview the MVP and the head coach. I'm sure one very proud head coach of the efforts of his charges this evening, and rightly so. I can just see Carl walking over to the sideline to our camera position. As I mentioned earlier, it's been a privilege to be able to bring you coverage of this BUCS final this evening. And Carl and I will be back later in the year covering more British American football, starting with that All-Star game in Coventry, and then onto the Brit Ball season itself proper over the summer months, which will culminate in the Brit Bowl in early September. That's the final of the British American football season. They're the community leagues. So without further ado, I believe Carl is ready with the victorious head coach of the Bullets.
I'm here live with Coach Daniel Mayer, the winning head coach of the UWE Bullets. Coach Mayer, what a game. Fantastic, and congratulations. How are you feeling?
Exhausted. Oh my god. First of all, the players were amazing. It was a great game. Nottingham had a great game, but you know, our big time players made big time plays. What can I say? And I think it's a real big team effort. The noise from the sideline compared with the big crowd over there, I thought it was amazing. So yeah, a real big team win. And like I said, I'm exhausted. Because
I guess you weren't expecting to play, necessarily an away ground, I guess, because UON had that advantage. But you guys came and brought your own noise. Were you expecting such tough opposition coming in? Because you kind of dominated everybody. So what was the feeling coming into the game?
The feeling coming in, we knew Nottingham were from the beginning of the season, we picked Nottingham as the strongest team in the north, and we hoped that we would face them in the playoffs, and we did, and it was an amazing game. Nottingham played really well, all credit to them. They looked after us really well today, and you know, it's a tough loss, but what a game.
One of the questions I asked up in the commentary is, when you went down, because you won so many times, you know, by so many points, you know, let's shut out so many teams. I was wondering whether you had the character to come back. Tell us about the character it takes to come back when you go down in that international final, and you ran the ball as well. I mean, you were right through the heart of that Nottingham Gold defence. Tell us about that final drive and what it meant, that Drew Carson touchdown.
Oh, the final drive. I mean, penalties throughout the game were our Achilles heel. And it just so happened that the fourth down play that we needed to win the game was we had a fake cadence, made him jump off sides, and that was the difference in the game at the end of the game. So it's pretty ironic, but yeah, that final drive, Drew Carson's got his shoulder pads down, ran the ball into the end zone. Such a relief. And
did you know you were going to run the ball? Is that where you saw the weakness? That was it. We're going to plough it down their throats and see whether we can come away with a win.
Yeah, our game plan was run the ball, pass the ball if we needed to, but we just need to be efficient with the ball. And you know, Frankie Pankhurst, the OC, Anthony Fursman, O-line coach, they had a great day today. You know, like calling the game, keeping the guys calm, keeping the game plan in their minds, keeping it fresh, taking away the frustrations. You know, yeah. I'm just really, really happy.
So this is the pinnacle of the sport. You won the national championship. You know, what's next for you, Coach? I mean, this has been a challenge for you. I know you've been here since 2014, building the program. You've done such a fantastic job with these players that come from all over Europe and the States and different places to play here. Yeah. What's next for you now?
Next for us is next season. You know, off season, get the guys a physical MOT. See what injuries they have. I think at UWE Bristol, the support it gets overlooked. If they've got an injury, they need a scan, they need treatment. You know, that's what we put an emphasis on, player first, rather than just trying to win games. So yeah, now it's about getting the players back to full health. A lot of them are going to go off and play professionally or semi-professionally in Europe. Some are going to stay in the UK. And, you know, recruitment for 2023, 2024 has begun.
Right. Yeah. Fantastic. I'll let you get back to your team and savour that atmosphere and really take it in. Coach Mayer, congratulations, the UWE Bullets National Finals champion.
Amazing. Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much, Coach. It's great for you to be here. Thank you. Let's throw it back to Matt upstairs to wrap up the show.
Thank you, Cole. Great to hear from that winning coach there on how proud he is of that team and everything that they've gone through this season. So, what a stint it's been tonight. We've witnessed the trophy final where the SGS Pride were victorious over the Newcastle Raiders, and then we've just seen an absolute classic, an instant classic in this Premiership final. The UWE Bullets victorious by a score of 28-21 over the University of Nottingham Gold outfit. I'd just like to thank all the production crew here and everybody behind the scenes who've been able to bring this production to you all day long. If you've enjoyed this, check out lots more Britball action, the BAFA website, the BUCS website, and remember, this is just day one of Big BUCS Wednesday. Hopefully you can join us for some more great sporting action here from the David Ross Sports Village all day tomorrow. But for now, on behalf of Carl Walkinshaw and myself, Matt Walker, thank you for joining us at this Big BUCS Wednesday Premiership Final. Good night for now. Good night.